guys. Well, welcome back. Welcome back to Actually Aubrey. We've got Ron in the house. It's I am Ron. Ron, welcome to the Actually Aubrey He Said She Said podcast.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy to be here for real.
Right. So I guess I'll get us started with so what have you been doing, Ron? I mean, no, I'm sorry. Let me back up. So Ron, you're from where?
Detroit.
Detroit.
Michigan.
Detroit. Detroit, Michigan.
Phrases, what up though? We say.
Yeah, what up though? That's it. That's the phrase, right there.
There you go with that clap machine.
My little sound machine there. Yeah, Ron. So, and speaking of Detroiters and lovely people, I bet you recognize that face. That's Kia Simone.
Definitely Kia.
Yeah. What's up, Kia? What's up?
Kia?
Right. So could you tell our viewers a little bit about your time growing up in Detroit in the D?
Yeah. Well, like I said, the time I was in the D, it was a pretty dangerous city, right? It was probably ranked number one in murders and crime and down the line. It was kind of in that transition. I had most of my family lived in the inner city part of Detroit. My dad, like I said, worked hard to move us out for the most part, to a more suburban area.
Right.
So I had my dad's teachings because I was actually raised by my father, which is, kind of rarity sometimes in the Black community, but he was there. But my friends that I grew up with, my homeboys, my day ones, was all still back in the inner city. So anytime I got a chance, I was down there on the weekends. I was a good excuse to go stay with an uncle, stay with a cousin, stay with grandma, stay with somebody, because that's where I just felt comfortable at, where, my friend base was, the people I felt that really cared about me or understood me. And when I got a chance at 17, I moved out of my parents' house, kind of escaped, eloped. And
where'd you go?
Lord.
Well, what about my best friends? His father owned, the two family flats. Remember the two family flats back in Detroit?
Sure.
So he had the top part, and he gave it to his son, to kind of rent out there when he was 18. We were all waiters at, restaurants and stuff. And, we were personable people, extroverts. So we made decent money waiting tables.
Okay.
And, so when he got that spot, he was looking for, a few buddies to come in with him on it. And, me, I was, sick of all the rules and regulations at the house. And that's where I wanted to be anyway. So I went down and moved in with him. But, I'm on the worst part of Detroit you could be on. I'm on 96 Enjoy Road.
Woo! Okay.
My dad's like, you're going to be dead in 2 weeks. Like, so I had to, like, kind of prove to the people kind of in that area I was built to be in that area. You know what I mean? Coming from.
Right. Here you come, a suburban kid to inner city.
Yeah, but I wasn't really a suburban kid because we didn't move to the suburbs until I was, already through kind of childhood mostly. And like I said, my weekends were spent back there. So I felt I knew the city pretty well, but still once you give that old, that zip code of where you was at before and then there, then you kind of get tested a little bit. So I was in situations where I was trying to prove myself, you know what I mean, that I was, I guess, hood enough to be in the area at the time. We was real young, so we was
right. You gotta have to flex. You had to flex a little bit, as they say.
Yeah, we had to. So I ended up getting in trouble, and I think you might have saw that part on the show, where I said, that I did get arrested and
right,
and things of that nature by fighting, just being with the wrong crowd. But luckily, I had my dad's teachings, and we, from day one, and he instilled that as me as a Black male of what I needed to do. And once you're on that path, it's kind of hard to, get off of it because you're always going to remember it and feel that you're a disappointment if you don't follow that path. That's why fathers are so important in Black men's life right now, or whatever male mentor you have and stuff. Because even when I was getting in trouble, his words are still in my head all the time. And then I had a good friend down there who was like, okay, we did this stuff. It's time to get our stuff together. And he went off to college. And he was my ace. He was the person who had the house, you know what I mean, and this and that. So when he
the guy that had the 2-family flat that you were in.
His son, his son was my best friend. So when he was going off to college, I'm just getting myself back together. I'm back, working in the restaurants and stuff. Trying to buy another car. Just mind, thinking about here and now stuff, not really thinking about the future as much. And he came to the restaurant I was at and said, you're going to come out to college with me. I said, no, I'm not. I'm about to finish sweeping these floors and I'm about to, buy this car, things of that nature. And he said, well, I went to the house. I packed up all your stuff in the back of my U-Haul. So you either come with me or you wake up tomorrow with no underwear. Your choice. So
that's pretty cool.
So I had to quit the job. So I now had nothing. I go up with him. I have no entry. You know what I mean? Things of this is the top university. I got not a very good GPA, anything to go along. So I go speak to the counselor and stuff, and he says, "Yo, this is University of Michigan. We can't let you in here." Like I turned down. He happened to be a black admissions officer, which is crazy for a school like that. Usually that's
I went to Michigan too, yeah.
And he said, I turned down 3 Caucasian men with 3.3, 3.4 GPA this week. I can't let you in with this. And he said, you play ball, he's like the coaches like, I've heard about you and things of that nature, but I can't let you in. And for the first time, I sat there in tears. I cried and I said, I just quit my job. I don't have nothing back there. I was like, if I go back to Detroit like this, I'll be dead there in jail in a month. And he went in the back. He grabbed a set of dorm keys. He threw them at me and he said, hey, I'll give you a shot. You're on academic probation for 2 years. You get under this GPA, you're out of here. Let's see what you're made of.
Wow.
And what I used to do is I used to study at night because that's where I had all my energy at, because that's where I was on the block hanging with the homies and stuff at night. So everybody was out partying. At 12 is when I had energy to go study. So when they come back, that's how I used to get my dates, because I'll be in there with my little cutoff studying at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they'll be coming in from the party. It's like, man, you about to be a doctor or something? Who studies at 3 o'clock on a Saturday? But I was trying to, that's when I had energy. I was sleeping.
Right. You kind of like me. You're more nocturnal than anything else. I get it.
It was
I totally
had to get used to the school. I wasn't doing it. And I was like, okay, well, I don't have any. I was a realist. I was like, I don't have any daytime energy to study all this stuff. I'm used to being out at night. My body had more energy at night because I was just out kicking.
Hey, Ron, let me ask you a question real quick. In all that trouble you were getting in, because I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and I came up in the height of the craziness, okay, in the 70s and stuff. So with all that craziness that you were in the street doing for that short period of time, were you ever in a situation where you were actually facing time or no?
Yeah, I mean, not real time. It wasn't like that, but it was mounting. I mean, it could have been that. Little stuff adds up, especially in that system. So, what I mean? You get caught a couple more times for some petty stuff. Now it becomes a real problem.
Right.
And I get shout outs to my parents, at the beginning and stuff. They were helping me out. They'll give me a lawyer here and this and that. And to the point where they was like, we giving you the right direction and you ain't taking it. So we got to kind of back our hands off a little bit and let you figure it out.
They get tired of paying for lawyers.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. I had to figure it out on my own, and I did. So at that time, I haven't talked to my dad probably about a year and some change. And I called him up and he says, where you at, in jail? And I said, no, I'm at University of Michigan. I got a 3.2 on my first report card. I need a computer. I can't do nothing else here without a laptop. And I never had a laptop shipped so quick. It was like, now it's like, my son, I know you can do it. What do you need? And I said, you know what? I'm going to take the credit for this one. So I got a job at Outback Steakhouse around the corner. I was like, I'm playing the ball. So I'm going to pay for my own, you know, try to pay for my own school as much as I can. You know what I mean? And I accepted very minimal help, you know, that I can, and you know, got through it.
Should ask for a laptop and some drawers.
He had the drawer, silly.
Oh man, this is crazy.
Yeah, but you know what?
I love it, Ron. I love it.
Yeah, sometimes, like I said, I did it my own way. I wouldn't suggest anybody going that route, but you know, like my dad said, you know, sometimes you don't give up on people. You got to let them figure it out, and you'll be surprised, you know, how stuff could turn out. You know, I felt I was lucky, but I did put in the work, and like I said, my dad's teachings, my mom's that base is what kept me sturdy when I could have left the right real far. I knew I had to go to college because that was the only thing I was taught growing up of a way to make it out of here, to make a decent living or this and that. It was even that or, you know, or the streets. You know, I didn't have any, you know, other teachings and stuff. So when I got worried, I went back on the educational path.
Yeah. You know what? Let me ask you in Aubrey, because you guys are Detroit. I'm Brooklyn, New York. Pretty rough cities, especially back in the day, you know, 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever. Did you guys have the 5% nation in Detroit, in the inner cities?
I heard of it.
I'm not familiar.
5% nation, like they practice Muslim teachings, things like that. Yeah.
Oh,
that was big. That was real big in Brooklyn, New York, in the city and stuff like that.
Yeah, I grew up, like I said, in the church, Oak Grove. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Oak Grove, really? I know Oak Grove, Ron.
Yeah, that's my first church. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I grew up in that system. So
okay.
So like I said, I had that foundation, you know, through God and like I said, through family, and to this day, those are things that are, you know, are kind of most important to me. It's, you know, it's that and family, you know.
Parents still alive, Ron?
What?
Your parents still alive?
Yeah, both my parents.
Okay.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, that is a blessing in itself. Yeah. But yeah, I know Oak Grove, and so it sounds like you were a West Sider, because Key and I are having this battle in the chat about East Side, West Side, Detroit. Of course, you and I know that West Side is greater.
West Side of that motor.
West Side.
Yeah.
Right there you go. You know, hey, what you know about that?
Oh my goodness.
But so Ron, so what led you, after you finished your time at University of Michigan, what led you to, how did you end up in Houston?
From there, I graduated. I took a job in St. Louis, where my dad ended up moving to, and he got me a job, and I was working that, kind of, you know, staying with him until I got my own place, and then right around the time kind of got my own place, got used to it, I got promoted to Houston, and it was kind of a quick promotion. It was like, you want to go to Houston? I've never been to the South before that time in my, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, so, you know, I'm a northern guy, but I looked out that St. Louis window and saw that snow, and then looked at the, you know, the temperature in Houston, and it said 80, and I said, oh yeah, okay, let's pack it up.
That sounds like a plan to me.
So I went down to Houston with no family, no nothing. I didn't know what to expect. Like I said, kind of first time in the South. And I didn't really even get a chance to, I had to pick my apartment at the time, sight on scene. Like I didn't even have enough time to even go look at a place. I had to get it online with one of those apartment locators and just take their word from it and move. But you gotta understand, like I was all my life, I've been very good with change. Like I said, I moved around a lot, went to 5 different high schools, 5 different states at one point. You know what I mean? Like, so me being adaptable, moving on a whim was different for me than it probably would be for somebody else who, you know, not used to making a lot of life changes on the fly like that. So.
But you know what, Ron? When you went to Houston, because you seem like you was a playboy probably back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Had more women and feel more slim, all that stuff. You know. So what was it like going to Houston getting involved with the women there, the dating scene. What was that like when you arrived?
Well, you gotta say I was coming from St. Louis, and I was in that scene there. So it was so funny, like you go to your little local spot, you got the wise bartender, and he knows everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell him, man, I'm about to move to Houston in a couple of days, man. I was like, and I was like, I'm gonna have, cause I had my little St. Louis thing unlocked a little bit, my little routine. And he was like, oh, you're going to Houston? He's like, yeah. He's like, well, I watch you here. He's like, you're gonna have to step your game up. And I'm young and I'm cocky. I'm like, what you talking about? I'm going there around Houston and stuff. And then I kind of felt what a big city is and stuff. I came in there, my car that I had in St. Louis, I used to park it in the manager's position place, and the women used to come out and tap my car and everything like that. And when I drove that thing to Houston, it might as well have been a Toyota Corolla compared to everything out here. So,
oh my goodness,
bigger city, more women,
yeah,
course, pretty women, but more competition,
right?
And like I said, you have to be ready to step up yourself,
right?
Yeah, you can say that Houston has gorgeous women and a lot of women like that, but yeah, if you don't got your stuff together, you can go dateless in Houston very easily.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Got
to step it up. Step it up. Oh,
well,
my goodness.
With that being said, so you want to go ahead and take the lead on the RTL part?
Yeah, well, I did want to ask Ron one more question about Houston though. Were you there when any of those storms were hitting? And how did you respond to that? Your friends and everybody. How did you guys galvanize during those times?
I missed most of the storms that hit
okay.
by pure accident. I remember we were doing a fellas trip to Vancouver, Canada.
Okay.
Right of all places.
Yeah, right when the storm hits. So my boy, his car at the airport is gone. It's flooded up to the rim. All my boys trying to get back to their kids. Right. I was like, I ain't going back there to that because I'm hearing what's going on. So luckily, my parents at the time, my brother and stuff lived in Vegas. So I just took a flight down to Vegas and kind of, I had a place to stay there and waited it out there for the big one. And actually, a lot of my friends were there in Vegas because that was the fight. I think it was Mayweather or somebody was fighting there. So they was down for that. So I was helping them out because now they're stuck there another 2 weeks and they already budgeted enough money to kind of make it to that Monday and stuff. So now they're trying to figure out what to do. So I was there to kind of, help them out, have a place to stay and things of that nature until they can get back to Houston.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, man, you missed those storms because they got hit pretty hard a couple of times.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. And another one, I think I was on a business trip I think I was in the Midwest somewhere, Indiana or something, and I missed that one.
Right.
And like I said, I got lucky both times. I didn't have, any damage to my place or belongings, but I was just, I just got lucky.
Right. Okay. Well, fast forward to the Ready to Love, the infamous Ready to Love journey. How'd you come about getting on that show and being one of the cast members?
I've seen the show. I saw like a little bit of the first season, and then I saw like all of season 2. I was a big fan of season 2 in Atlanta. And then somebody reached out to me. It wasn't something that I signed up for. It was somebody reached out to me and said, would you like to interview for this show? And when I saw the show, I recognized the show. I said, oh, okay, I'm a fan of that. I saw season 2. I knew the characters. I knew Jimmy. You know what I mean? And in London and things of that nature. So you gotta understand, like, so this is like the beginning of the year, like January 1st. And I felt, I was one of the, easy front runners. If I said I had to do a lot to get on this show, I'd be lying. I didn't do a lot to get on this show. She was like, "You're perfect," you know what I mean, for my little interview with the cast and thing, and said, we're gonna set you up to be on the show. These are the steps. We're in the process of doing this. So it's gonna take a while, but we want you to be on the show. So I thought So at this time, I'm thinking I'm one of the first guys picked. I'm thinking I'm going to be on the resort show. And me and Simone, we're good friends. So we're over here interviewing together and stuff, trying to, I'm using her ring light. And then, me and she's helping me with this. I'm helping her with that. And, we're just interviewing for the show. And then she gets put on the resort season. And then, I had to wait it out for whatever our season is.
Oh, wow.
So you got to understand, I'm picked to be on the show probably about in the January. I didn't actually start being on the show till a whole year later.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So imagine, and I don't know if it was like that for everybody else, but I'm like, man,
that's a long time.
Yeah, everybody's life probably changed within a year.
Right, you could have met a woman, got engaged, and got married.
You know what I mean?
And they were like, the communication was there, but it wasn't perfect. Like you might go 3 months without hearing from somebody, and then you email them and they say, "Oh no, you're still good. We're still just getting through the process." And we're right in the middle of COVID. We're in the hiatus of it. We're right in the dab of it. So that's setting them back. You don't know what's going on there.
That's why it took a year. It was the COVID.
We were supposed to go. It was supposed to be back-to-back resorts. They already had the filming equipment and stuff already there. There ain't no point of moving it. You might as well move us. We're cheaper to move than it is to move a whole production.
Yeah, they'll just tell y'all to get out.
The what?
They'll just tell y'all to get out,
But I think they had a COVID situation at the resort after, so then they had to shut that down. So then we had to wait for that to clear up. And then, they say, okay, well, Houston is kind of relaxing on their COVID situation.
The state of Texas, if we will.
Yeah, state of Texas. So there's like, maybe we could pull it off here, as long as nobody don't get COVID. We could try to, get it going. Because I think they had like Married at First Sight. One of them other shows was going down here at the same time. So they decided to bring, the production, everything down to Houston. And so, but we had to wait for all that. And then, and then all of a sudden it's just like, okay, it's go time.
Well, once it finally got started, after all this craziness going on, and once you walked on set and started to do the mingling, I guess you got to meet everybody and see who you got connections with or whatever.
Yeah.
Who would you have connection with at first when you said, okay, this might be a possibility if I get through the season?
Well, I was one of the it was weird because I'm in the car, right? Waiting to go on to the Mingle Mansion thing. I'm in the car for like 3 hours. I'm the last person out. So I'm over here like, by the time I get out, and I don't know what to expect. So they threw you through the room, you grab a glass of champagne, and they just throw you out there. And when you're out there, it's, I feel like I'm very good in a Mingle set because, I'm outside. I go out to spots and, spark conversation with people and network and stuff all the time. But imagine this thing is like 3 acres big, and you got half a mile down there having a genuine conversation together, and you got to go and tap somebody on the shoulder and say, introduce yourself. By the time you get out there, some people have been out there 3 hours mingling with the females and things like that. Right. They don't care to introduce themselves to you. So when I walked out, I saw Troy first, and he was the only person not the only person, but I knew Troy for a while. So I'm like, okay, good. I know somebody on here because I'm thinking I was gonna know everybody that they brought out here on cast. I'm like, in that age demographic of professional Black men in Houston, I was like, I'm that guy. So who doesn't I know in that sector? And I was very shocked that I was like, I don't know any of these people. And not only I didn't know any of these people, like I said, it was some competition out there. Every guy I was running to was like 6'5", 6'6".
Wow.
Yeah, I'm thinking of what is it?
Wow.
What was the cook?
AJ,
What was the cook's name?
AJ's legit 6'6". You know what I mean?
AJ, yep.
Ace is 6'6". The cook, like I said, is a good 6'4".
Right.
Yeah, and all of them very handsome too. Yes, you're right about that.
I was like,
How
woo.
tall are you, Ron?
I'm barely hitting 6 foot, like
Okay, I got you.
right on the nose of it. So
right.
In that group, I was, considered one of the shorter ones. Like, with me, maybe yeah, I mean, wasn't too many people under 6 foot besides maybe Black. I call him Black, but the mailman, the guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, him and then we didn't know about KG, so we he wasn't even out there yet, but he was
right.
Yeah,
He was that surprise curveball toward the end of the evening.
End of the evening. So we get out there and we mingling. I see the competition first. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be interesting. And I see Chrysanthemum talking to Troy. So I was like, okay, she's a good looking woman. And but Troy was hogging. So I'm like, I ain't gonna be able to get that conversation there. But I walked down and I saw Amber, and I grabbed her and I gave her a compliment, and she was like, let's go talk over there. And we talked. It had to be probably about 2.5 hour conversation. Like,
wow. Now Amber is the DA, right? She's the petite, really cute DA. Okay, right. I just want to make sure I got my people right.
By the time I got done with her, it was like we looked up and the sun was going down a little more. And I enjoyed the conversation because normally I ain't the type of person that really super attracted to lawyers, but she never told me she was a lawyer. She was talking about food trucks and and different things, and the fact that she didn't lead with that. I'm an attorney. You know what I mean? Like, it was a more feminine aspect to her. To her personality.
That was smart of her, actually, because like you said, to just not even lead with that seems like she knows that some people some men may have been turned off by that.
Yeah, it did sound like it wasn't a a lawyer conversation, or I felt like she was quizzing me or and asking a bunch of setup questions. So it went good. It was a good conversation. I felt the connection there, but then I looked around. I said, okay, I was the last person out here. I could spend 2.5 hours talking to one girl. Man, I better make these rounds before I'm about to be the first guy eliminated.
That's definitely how it goes. That person that gets fixated with that one person of the opposite sex, they're usually the first person to go.
Yep, that's it.
I'm over here running, so now I'm on mingling with steroids.
Yeah.
But you got the personality, Ryan. Let's face it. You're an outgoing, handsome guy.
It is, but outgoing. Now this is a different energy in this place. Because like I said, this is that first mingle thing was the hardest. Like it's real. Like what I mean, they're about to eliminate some. Like I think the first person got eliminated. He didn't have time to finish his champagne glass.
Really?
Oh
wow!
Man.
Oh yeah, it was brutal that day, and then they turned around and eliminated the second guy right behind him.
Around. So it was like when I saw him, I looked at him like it was during like I think the Super Bowl playoffs and stuff like that. Yeah. I looked at the time like he still got time to catch the game.
They eliminated 2 in one day.
And then I'm like,
they weren't playing in Houston. They were not playing.
They weren't playing. Then I'm thinking like towards the end, I'm like, man, if I'm the guy that got to go in the end, I would have rather went with the first guy went because at least he got a chance to catch the game.
Right. Yeah.
So I got to try to find my connection. So I remember Simone telling me, she's like, it's this girl you're going to really like up in the mix here. I think y'all good for each other. So she wouldn't give me her names. So I'm over here trying to figure out who in the world she was talking about. So I'm running around trying to talk. And I end up being Stacy. And then,
okay, because I was gonna guess Kyra. Well,
me and Kyra already knew each other.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, Simone and Kyra are best friends, and me and Simone were good friends. So I knew Kyra already. So it was me and Kyra kind of made that we friends. We ain't gonna, get involved in each other's journeys. I never talked to Kyra the whole time. I didn't, I mean, I already had her number.
Okay.
On the phone. I knew her brother. You know what I mean? Like it was. That wasn't the situation with her. So, right there, I'm already down to only 9 women because I can't talk to Kyra in that sense. So it's like,
yeah.
And then I was the type of person where I was really trying to take the journey serious. Like I said, I'm a results guy, right? So that's just how I build my confidence. So that way, if somebody tells me something negative, I don't have to listen to them. I can go to results. So if they say, "Oh, you're a bad dresser," okay, well, that's not what the results say. You're not an attractive guy. Well, that's not what the results say. I can go back to that. So when it came to my love life and long-term relationships, I'm looking at the results. And I'm saying, ugh. The results are not good. So I have to do something different. So I was like, I got to really take this situation serious. And my dad, he told me, he was like, you're already well known in Houston. You got a good job. You don't need them for money and stuff. You never wanted to be on TV. It wasn't a dream of yours or something. You don't have anything to promote. You're in corporate and you have your own business. So he's like, the only thing the show could really offer you is a wife. It was, what I mean? It's the only thing they had to give me. And that stuck in my head. So I was taking the show very serious, probably more serious than I should have, but was taking it serious. I didn't date 2 to 3 months before the show. Anybody I was talking to beforehand, I cut off. I had one girl I was talking to. I had her key, and by accident, I wouldn't use it, but I had the key. I
what?
Gave it back.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna take. I need to take the show very serious.
Yeah.
And go through the process. So I and like I said, I didn't know no better. I didn't know anything about television. I didn't, I'd never been interested in it. I didn't do a bunch of homework. I had Jay, some of my homeboys, Jay, London, for season 2 and stuff, hit me up and try to give me a little rundown of what's going on. But you can't prepare yourself for that if you're not, in that sector. So
yeah. My idea, Ron, what were your thoughts? We hear this a lot, especially the last 2 seasons, about production this and editing that, and it was the production, it was the way they edited my voice. So what were your thoughts about how production handled you guys and the editing per episode? Did they get you in a good light as you see?
No, my situation was totally different though than anybody who's ever been on the show from an editing standpoint. And my castmates know, you know what I mean? Like, this has even gotten to other seasons of castmates and stuff.
Explain that.
Well, my editing was more targeted.
Okay.
Yeah, they were like, at one point, they were like, we need to get him out of here.
Really?
Yeah. And by any means. And it wasn't going to be a pretty situation. You know what I mean? It just wasn't that. And then it got to the point where, I got, it's more open now because castmates more can speak to me. I have a good relationship with all my castmates for the most part. And it's to the point now where they can be real with me and stuff. And they say, we've had production get in our cars and say, you need to say this about him, or you need to do this. And they're like, we can't do it, or some did, you know what I mean? It just This is what it is. But
wow,
they were taking it to extreme, and it didn't need to be that way. They could have, how people are kind of, we got to a altercation, and I knew right then, and I was like, okay, I need to self-eliminate.
Okay, wait a minute. Not just so I can be clear, a physical or verbal altercation?
It was more of an altercation of, like I said, I'm the type of person, I'm from Detroit, I'm only going to
take so much.
Yeah, if I feel somebody's attacking me in a certain way, I'm going to stick up for myself. Like I said, I don't need to be here. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Or anything like, you're not doing anything for me. So I'm going to speak my mind. All castmates knew I was that guy. I'm a type of person. I'm a boxer. You hit me, I'm going to hit you back. You know what I mean? It's just who I am,
Right.
And it was just kind of an altercation. I didn't like the way it went down. I felt like I was kind of attacked and targeted. And these are the type of people, they're not gonna tell you what the real deal is, how they feel. They're gonna do it with action. I knew that at this point, because now I'm learning. This is more towards the middle end of the season. I'm learning now kind of how this thing is going. Like, you know what I mean? They're like, okay, this is a TV show. I don't care what my expectations of coming on here for. My expectations on here doesn't matter. I was here to make a TV show.
Right.
I was here for, you know what I mean? That's what we all were here for, So they don't care, who I fall in love with, or my love is nobody's interest right now. Everybody's trying to make a TV show. If I did anything to get in the way of that, you got people there that are kind of, that could be petty, you know what I mean, at some points, I guess.
Yeah, Ron, but you said you were targeted. So what was it, that one thing or that one instance that occurred that you finally said the light went off? You like, uh-oh, they out to get me. What was it?
Well, you start, like I said, nobody could hold water on set. So you start hearing certain things and you start seeing some changes and you're like, something ain't right. You know what I mean? Then you hear that, okay, a producer don't like you. You know what I mean? Like out of nowhere. And you figure out, oh man, this might be the head guy. But he won't talk to you or sit down and have a conversation. So you're saying, okay, it's probably gonna attack my editing, or this and that, or you feel the energy in a room. You know what I mean? Like kind of like with I think the interview with Chef this season when he kind of said after that situation happened with him and the girl, he kind of felt the energy in the room change. Yeah. And he knew he had to, from there, he knew he had to get out of it. You know what I mean? He knew something wasn't going to go in his favor. He had to call somebody. And that's when he started making the call to production and figure out, okay, what's going on.
You talking about the Eric and Dakia situation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't nowhere near that situation. This was just a distraction with production. But, I tried to self-eliminate myself. I backed out of it because at the time, I was dating Alexis, and me self-eliminating would have affected her journey is what they told me. And I didn't want to do that. I know how bad, she wanted to be on the show. I probably should have left then, you know what I mean? But I said, fine, whatever my faith is, let's roll it out. What's the worst that could happen? I wasn't expecting anything from being on the show, so there's nothing they could really take away. So I just kind of went with it, but they were I felt like they were planning. It was more of a plotting situation. Okay, let's huddle up. But having, you know what I mean? I even heard from some people that they've had meetings about situation. So
you were infamous.
Yeah, targeting. It was like that.
Why are you calling my friend Ron infamous? He was not infamous.
He was infamous. John Dillinger.
Well, it was from that thing. Like you said, if you ask my castmates, they'll tell you straight up, like, you did nothing wrong. You actually were. I was the guy who really took the process as serious. I spent my time. I was always on time. I spent my own money when nobody else did. You know what I mean? I put in more effort through the process probably than any guy on the show. You know what I mean? From the reality standpoint on it. But like you said, once that kind of altercation got there, and they were like, man, we got to, he has to go. It was problems. And it didn't need to be that way because I was ready to go anyway. Like I said, I tried to self-eliminate. I had, I was tired of the engagements, things of that nature. It didn't have to go the way it went. But after that, I felt that the editing was very targeted. I think the biggest one that probably pissed me off the most was them trying to edit and target my religion. And after that, it was kind of on after that because I was mad. Because
they start hitting low then.
Yeah, because
Ron, what happened? I'm sorry to interrupt you guys, but what happened with that? What if you feel comfortable speaking about it? If not, that's
well,
okay.
They're trying to think of ways to, I guess, kind of get me off. I guess at the time, I didn't give them much. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm doing the stuff the right way. I'm not a bad person. You know what I mean? My energy, when people meet me, they already know what it is. So I guess I said something during with Tommy and stuff to the male deliberation. And I said, I've had, some bad experiences in the church. That's why I do Bible study. And I do. I have a pastor. He comes over. My best friend is a Christian rapper. And that's who basically introduced me to Alexis through that way. So he just set me up with a pastor, came to the house, Bible study. And I kind of host there with the guys and things of that nature. And that's how I get the word in. I got, very spiritual that way. And I trust this guy. This guy literally would speak the word for no money. He'd go door to door, 16 miles for nothing, gets to teach the word. So I was like, okay, this is the guy I want to hear the word from. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't need a motivational speaker. I don't need all that type of stuff. I just want...
He's devoted to sharing the word, the gospel. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and he has a degree in Bible. You know what I mean? He knows that book inside and out. And that's what I wanted to get better at. So I was more, focusing my faith towards that. And, and this is all on, in front of the live and stuff like that. I even said there, I like Alexis because, it seemed like she is a devoted Christian and is in that way. And maybe she can even, help me get more, confident to go back to the actual church. But until then, I'm fine doing this.
Right.
And being honest and transparent and things of that nature, but not doing anything wrong. I'm still, a devoted Christian, doing everything right. And the way they took that and twisted it, in my hierarchy is God, family, so you've just attacked in my number one. You might as well attack in my family. You know what I mean? That I feel at me like that. And the fact that the person I was dating knew all this, been in my house, seen my Bible with my name restricted on the desk. We've talked about religion and stuff from day one, but went along with it. Now I'm looking at this person like, what, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God. Like, how dare you? You know what I mean? In the back of my head. And that is probably the instance of the editing that I didn't like. It was some lies and stuff thrown in between that stuff too. But that the way they did that, now it was kind of gloves off. Now it's like, okay, man.
Yeah.
You don't hit that low. I don't mind. Because most of the stuff is just relationship stuff. You know what I mean? If you edit something, we all make relationship mistakes. You know what I mean? If it's just in the show and things of that nature about relationships, I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? But to attack a person's religion on national TV, come on now, don't do that.
Yeah.
And that's the part I had. And they know their audience. They knew they had a lot of church people watching the show. You know what I mean? So they wanted to play that to that demographic, but and it didn't stick. It didn't work. Like I said, they were doing targeted shots, but none of it was sticking because I am who I am. You know what I mean? Right. You ask me, oh man, are you a religious? No, I believe in God. That's all I gotta say. It ain't nothing for me to question past that. And how I live my life and how I am with people. So they kept trying stuff. It was nothing really to get to stick. You know what I mean? And honestly, some of the edits they did, I can't even claim. It was working in my favor. I get guys all the time. Man, you my favorite, man. I love the way you were you told that girl this and that. And I was like, man, I actually didn't, man. I can't take I think get credibility for that because that ain't how that really went down. But you know what I mean? I'm sorry, I can't be your male hero for that. But
was there anybody you would have considered other than Alexis? I know Alexis was your strongest connection. Was there anybody else you was considering at the time other than Alexis?
He also had a strong connection with Chris Anthium. Tell us a little bit about, answer his question and then answer mine.
I had a lot of connections actually. I had
okay.
Yeah. I mean, my first connection when I first got on there, like I said, was Ida. And
that's right. Yeah.
Me and Ida had a strong connection, and then she was the first girl to leave, and I stuck up for her. I tried to say, hey, I think you guys might have a different vibe with her because my vibe is strong. And I tried to, stick up for her there, but it was something you could tell in production. They didn't want to see me with Ida. When we were on the second episode, I mean, we were in the kind of the brunch. Me and her was trying to spend some time with each other, and they kept moving her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not to interrupt you, but I got to refresh the viewers' memory for those that watched the season. They know that Ida was the tall, light-skinned, beautiful young lady that kept going and sitting in between, like AJ and who was that? Stacey B, right? She was always kind of like interrupting and moving herself in between whatever gentleman happened to be talking to whatever female. That's how they kind of utilized her with production. But go ahead.
Yeah, so that didn't work, and she left that episode, so then that was gone. And then me and Tressa, like to this day, that's like my best
Tressa.
Me and her daughter. Yeah, me and her daughter are like, I mean, I almost consider that my daughter. And and we were like, because a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So me and Tressa going to the mall together, and we're holding hands, and we're doing this. But at the time, I had 3 strong connections because I had Alexis, Casathium, and remember, Amber was my first connection. and probably was my strongest at the mixer. And we've been talking on the phone, and we had every day. She's been I think even at that point she'd been to my house. I've cooked. What I mean? We've done all this, and I had to let Tressa know, and it wasn't like. To be honest, Tressa was probably my strongest connection, as in, because I mean, like I said, to this day, we're still two peas in a pod. But she was an empty nester. Her daughter is now 22, 21. You know what I mean?
Right.
I want some kids. So I was
so she wasn't looking to maybe start all over again with
no,
with
she wasn't gonna start over again. It was like her, Benicia, it was some good women there that was empty nesters. I mean, their kids are older now, they weren't about to start all over again. So I had to be realistic from a long-term setting. I wasn't just trying to make it to the end. I mean, I was like, I need to leave this with somebody.
Right. You wanted somebody that you could build a future with, it sounds like.
Yeah, it seemed like. So I was being realistic to who I could really date and who I couldn't. And I had to be real with her and say, without the kids, I wouldn't want to do that to you. You know what I mean? Our connection was so strong when she said she might, you know what I mean? But I was like, man, I wouldn't put you through that. You know what I mean? Your kid is out. And I knew her so well and had so much respect for her. She was always taking care of men and her kid and things of that nature. This was really her time to do some of the stuff I got to do as a single male that she never got to do. Travel the world a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Go out a little bit to meet some people. You know what I mean? Go, you know what I mean? That's outside of that comedy genre that she had. So no, I was the type of person that I'll call her up now, like, you got to get out the house, Tress, or you got to, I know you hang around with the same people to comedy, but come here with me and this. Let's meet some new people. Let's do some new things. And, get her to, this is your time to live. You paid your dues, queen. You know what I mean? You need to meet a man too. You know what I mean? That's good, meet men, but you need to really, live your life and really enjoy it. And you deserve that. And I think the path I was going of wanting to be a husband, wanting to be, a father, and feeling that because of the father that I had, that was my purpose on life. It was a non-negotiable for me. So that kind of put Tressa in the fourth position, and we were told the whole time we had to have a top three. You got to have a top three.
Yeah, it's always a top three. Top three.
You got to have a top three.
Yeah.
So So it was kind of like Alexis and Chrysanthemum were kind of tied because I couldn't make a decision. That soon. And then Amber was like my second, like kind of right there. And we were, kind of gaining more steam towards the end. So it was kind of like I was in a tough situation of trying to make a decision so quick. And I was dealing with three totally different women, you know what I mean?
Right.
Which was really hard to kind of dissect which one that you want to pursue in a relationship. Me and Alexis are total opposites.
Really?
Never dated a woman like her. I didn't even notice her the first 2 days.
If
it wasn't for my boy being friends, my best friend, being friends with her and them going to Clark, going to school together in Atlanta and him vouching for her, I never would have talked to her the whole time.
Okay. So a little maybe physically a little different from the women that you were your typical type, maybe say?
Everything.
Because I know go ahead.
We had a conversation on the phone. The conversation went 3 hours. And then I said, okay, we have a little more in common than I thought. But at first, I didn't think we had anything. You know what I mean? We did kind of have similar, family structures and kind of schooling and things of that nature. But I was in a situation where I was like, I do need to try something different. I was always dating kind of similar type of women. And look at my results. Like I told you, I'm a result guy. So I'm looking at the results. I said the results are not good. So maybe I need this type of woman. And, I had to, it put me in a situation where I say, if I'm going to do this with her, I got to be all in. This girl has a son. I have met her husband, her ex-husband.
What?
Yeah, me and him go to the same gym.
Oh, okay. Because I've seen him on an interview, and I kind of kept asking myself, well, now why did she let him go? Because okay, moving on.
Oh yeah, we'll leave that alone. Here she go. You know,
hey, Alex will get this one. Her ex-husband was foreign.
Yeah, foreign. Yeah.
Well, and very tall. She has a stand for tall guys.
Hey, if you can get it, why not?
So, hey, Ron, you don't have any children, right?
Huh? No.
You don't have any children. Okay.
No, ready for children.
Okay.
And so he was in a situation where, so he had a kid, you know what I mean? So I'm asking, I had to be intentional because I'm saying, okay, if I'm going to be with this woman, I'm telling her all this stuff on the phone. You understand, we talk on the phone all the time. And you're trying to be real on the phone as a guy, but you don't know what is real and what's fake, because everybody's telling you what you want to hear because everybody wants your vote.
Everybody trying to stay on the show. Everybody it's like Survivor. Everybody trying to stay on the island.
So I mean, I think Diedrich said it best. Like during the show, it was the funniest thing. The chef, he was like, "When it's the men's turn to eliminate, oh, your phone be blowing up. All the girls. Hey, when it's the women's turn to eliminate, you don't hear from nobody else."
Ain't that something? See there, you know what? That's terrible. That is terrible.
And it's kind of like, you know what I mean? So, telling you they be telling you what you want to hear. That's why kind of in the new season with the, with the Eric situation, and I kind of understood what he was coming from, because I'm like, he probably didn't feel comfortable real soon with the person because we be talking like that.
Right.
You be talking marriage and you be talking a lot of stuff for this person you don't know from a can of paint.
Yeah.
Well, right, but I have to say this. If we're talking about the Eric and Dakia situation from this season, when has it ever been proper etiquette for a grown man, to grope a woman in public? When has it ever been etiquette or cool for wait a minute, hold on, for a grown man to grope a woman by her breast in public? When have you seen that done?
I haven't, and like I said, especially they were filming, so I don't know what the situation was, but
in public though, they're in public in front of other people, other couples.
I don't know what their conversation was on the phone. You don't know what these people could have been talking about. You know what I mean? I've had some conversations on the phone where I felt like,
you know what, Ron?
Never step out of your character. Here's the thing: no matter what someone tells me, if a man could tell me, "Babe, listen, tomorrow when I see you in front of a room full of people at church, I want you to grab me by the crotch," do you think I'm going to do it? No. I was raised better than that. I would like to think, and yes, I'm saying better than that because those are my core values for my family that I grew up in.
But you're a woman though, and he felt, I guess, in the situation that they was testing his manhood. And
you know what? But that's inside his brain. That's inside his own noggin. Okay, I'm sorry.
No,
those are my opinions.
No, you're right. And like I said, I agree 100%. I don't touch my thing is I don't put my hands on nobody. I don't want them putting their hands on me. I was taught.
Right.
This was my argument early on. Me and Aubrey had this discussion back and forth.
Oh, Lord. That's not what we're here for. But
we're not here for that. But I'm just saying, I felt like discussions behind the scenes, we don't know what was discussed, how close they felt to one another, what went on, if there was any intimacies or what. We just don't know. So, and
that's never appropriate.
I do believe I know from the phone conversations because I know I'm in the same show. I know what we say on the phone. Everybody's talking that, blowing smoke each other's ass on the phone. So he was getting smoke blown his direction where he felt like, hey, this girl, we gonna be together. It's a chance we're gonna be together. She's feeling me. She's this. Because what I do believe is some things Ted can do that Fred can't.
Yeah.
And if Clifton or somebody might have, did that and said apology, the apology might have been accepted a little more on the spot. Not saying it was the right thing to do because it wasn't the right thing to do. He apologized right away, but it might have went over a little different.
We've had that discussion, Ron.
Well, it seems to me that in that case, in that situation with Eric and Dakia, he almost immediately got defensive. And here's the thing, what maybe he doesn't know, because he doesn't seem like he's living in the current times, and this is just my opinion, and Eric, if you want to come on and refute that, you're welcome to be our guest. It doesn't seem like Eric was living in this current time, because things that he was saying, like, he doesn't realize. For example, you're in corporate America, Ron, so you can probably attest to this. Once HR gets that word that someone has inappropriately touched someone in a sexual manner, because that was a sexual area in which he touched her, they now have to make a move or they can be sued. And that's why he was off the show. Okay.
Yeah,
but he wants to make it her fault, but it's not her fault. That's an HR problem. And like I said, he's out of touch, because you can't just go around touching people like that.
They had to do what they had to do. And
right.
because of his profession, and like I say, he has big time clients and stuff, and as a chef, things like that, I think they handled it the right way. They let him go off the right way. And I'm proud of the show and the producers for that.
Yes.
But with that said, part of me says they might have should have stopped right there and said, okay, I'm sorry, it's cool. I threw a whole party I wasn't supposed to throw. That's probably why I got in trouble.
Wait a minute, were you the one that had the hot tub party?
Yeah, I was the one that had the hot tub party.
Oh my goodness, Ryan. You know what? I forgot how bad a boy you were in that season.
I had the house. So it wasn't that my idea for the party. You understand, we're in COVID. We're cooped. We can't go nowhere.
Right.
Checking in production. We're in the house. So we had steam we had to blow up.
Yeah.
We did. And then I had the house. And then, Deidre, everybody was like, they started calling up cast members and stuff. Deidre went to go get food. Another person's bringing some liquor. And then, and now I'm just got a host. You know what I mean? I'm like, I didn't even get to enjoy the party. I'm over here making sure everybody got what they want. Everybody is safe. Everybody is, I'm hosting. I'm tired. I'm on 3 hours of sleep.
Okay.
I'm barely getting a chance to even talk to my connections that's there, but I want everybody else to talk to. I'm a team player. I want everybody else to talk to their connections. I wanted to see everybody find love. I wasn't in the competition.
Right. You're like me. I'm not like
yeah,
I want to compete against myself.
To me, I'm like, I want everybody. I want us to have 9 couples out of this. You know what I mean? I was that guy. You know what I mean? I want everybody to find. I'm trying to help out whoever I can and get them low time, stuff like that. But whatever happened in that party stayed at that party for the most part during our
like
season.
Vegas. It's like Vegas.
There you go. There you go, Ron.
So that touch, you know what I mean? If there's any touching and stuff that went on, it was people in and out of rooms and different. I let my own house open. You know what I mean? I'm that type of person. I'm a host with the most. But it never really got, nothing really got spoken on past that. Everybody enjoyed the party and thanked me for being a good host and letting them, have that time that they needed. Because, like I said, if you needed some one-on-one time with your person you were interested in, and they weren't putting you on no dates, you're out of luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we weren't supposed to date on the side during COVID because it was COVID. You know what I mean?
Right.
Our season. So I'm saying in that situation, if it was a person probably that you really liked and you understood and things of that nature, they made a mistake and said, I'm sorry, you might have just left it at that and moved on and kept going and stuff. But
let me ask you this, Ron. After the like I said before, Ron, he became infamous on the show. We having these hot tub parties and all this stuff. You inviting Penthouse and Playboy over to take pictures. But after you knew you was going to be eliminated. I guess you guys know ahead of time. Do you guys know ahead of time, or how does that work?
I knew because it's the way they set it up. Like, I mean, if you had the deliberation, and then if they say you got a date later that night, you pretty much know what the deal is. And plus, me and Alexis just had a 3-hour conversation the night before, and it didn't go well.
Okay.
And I knew because Cynthia was gone. Alexis was my number one, and for some reason they would not put me on a date with Amber to save my life. I guess they was trying to suppress that situation because they wanted to keep her with KG. So they wouldn't, I talked to the producer. He was like, man, I got it. But, we understand there's a connection there, but we don't have anything on camera to tell y'all story. So we can't tell that. So you gotta move on from that. So after the conversation with Alexis the night before, I kind of pretty much knew I was going to get eliminated. Plus, I had a family endeavor that I had to get to the next week. And since we had that snowstorm, we were a week behind in filming. So I had it planned out where if I made it to the end, I made it in just enough time to get out of there and get to the family thing I had to go to. There was no way around it. And since we're a week behind, now I couldn't. I would have had to leave anyway. I would have to somehow get off the show before that. So I was ready to go. I went and bought a new blazer and stuff. And I knew I was about to get eliminated. I told them in the car, when they came up to me, and I was ready to go.
Yeah. And I noticed that be an ongoing theme. Like certain people who feel a lot of pressure. Like DC, it was what was his name? Aubrey, the guy that was like Hallelujah when he got eliminated.
Sean got eliminated by Sabrina.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Sean felt like Hallelujah. Then Tori was like, "Oh Lord, thank you." He was so happy to leave.
He was grinning. He didn't say anything, but he was grinning, and he picked up Sabrina 2.0.
It's a lot of work. Like I said, by this time we're all tired. You know what I mean? I got to work my regular job. Plus run this and I'm going on 4 hours of sleep. It's worth it to me if, like I said, if the connection is there, and that's what was giving me energy. But after I got, like I said, I had that conversation with Alexis the night before, I was like, who is this person? Like, this is a totally different person. This is not the same person I've been talking to. So I was like, okay, I don't know her that well. They're not going to let me pursue Amber. Even if they did keep me on after that conversation, there's no way in the world I was about to fight with AJ over Alexis anymore. I was going to be like, yo, you can have that all day. Right. So there was no point in me being there anymore.
Was there a point, can I ask you this, Ron, was there a certain point or a certain action or something that happened or a lack of action that happened between you and Alexis that let you know that maybe she wasn't the girl for you, the woman for you?
Well, I think with Alexis, she was... Like I said, she's in a real tall man. She was in the AJ.
Oh, yeah.
From the beginning. Y'all saw that on tape. That was real. But remember I said at my house party, AJ left her in a room for 3 hours. You know what I mean?
3 hours? What?
With 2 hours and stuff like that. Never came. I was walking her out to her car because, she got a kid. She got to get home. She got to get to work. I'm being a gentleman, taking her a car. AJ grabs her and said, "Oh, no, baby, I didn't get a chance to talk to you yet." So I'm being, like I said, team player. I'm fair. I say, okay,
right.
Guest room upstairs. I'm going to walk her up, get her settled in. When you get done talking to the fellas right quick, go up there. Y'all can have y'all time. I ain't going to hog up all the time. Just because it's my house, I ain't that type of guy. I ain't no hater. You know what I mean? Like, you can have as much time as you want with her. So I walk her back up. I carried her up the stairs like a gentleman. Got her in the bed. You know what I mean? Got her good.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you physically picked her up and carried her up the stairs like as if it was your honeymoon?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
That's on God. That happened. So I get her in the room, get her cuddled up. You know what I mean?
I think I would have said, "The heck with AJ. Come on, let's come on in this bedroom, and you can attend to your guests later, baby." I don't know what she was thinking about, but okay, whatever.
So then I go into the other room, and my people were there. I got Cassandra, I think, still there. Tressa there. You know what I mean? So I'm having a ball in the other room. Talking mess with them to the point I don't even realize how much time went past. So I'm like, dang, I was like, Alexis, when they're talking to AJ, she didn't even say bye to me before she left. And I walk in and she's still in the room.
Wow.
And I look down and he's still outside. And I said, that's why I kind of woke her up and said, babe, you can't be sitting there waiting for this dude, man. You got a kid at home. You got to go home. Like, you know what I mean? Let me get up there and walk you. And then I'm mad at him because she's mad. And she ain't even saying bye to me no more. She get her car and zoom off. I'm like, oh, everybody. So that became the talk of the situation. I kept bringing it up because I was kind of upset about it. And she got to one point where she was like, yeah, I ain't messing with AJ no more. He's not giving me, that he want to be with me vibes, or this and that. And that was messed up in that situation. So I'm thinking, okay, I understand with the attraction there, but I don't have to worry about that situation no more because that's what she said. And then I guess in between that time, AJ was about to be the next one kind of eliminated because Kyra was with Jason. He didn't have another, because Santi was not gone. He didn't have another connection. So he's ready to go. But he turned it on with Alexis that week. And, that's when that kiss happened that I didn't know anything about. And then after that, she kind of said, okay, well, this might be a path for me to go to the end with him. And then she started acting different towards me. Now the conversations, the phone call, we talk every day about our day, about our future, about, her. I asked about her kid every day, everything, that's how we were moving.
Did you, not to interrupt you, but did you ever get to meet her son?
I didn't.
Okay.
I went to the house, but yeah, I didn't, he wasn't there, so I didn't get a chance to meet the son. So we had the storm, the winter storm. I'm out of power for 5 days, no water, freezing and things of that nature. And I thought, in my head, I'm thinking, if this is my number one, this is to be a good time. And this is after Valentine's Day. Remember, me and her went on Valentine's Day together. I was the only person to take one of the people out on Valentine's Day because we had to spend our own money on that. That was a production dollar.
Oh, wow.
We're off on Valentine's Day. So on Valentine's Day, I took her, nice restaurant. I had flowers delivered to the restaurant.
What?
I set up a comedy show with me, Jason, and Kyra. And I got a table for all of us. And then, we had the comedy and poetry show and things of that nature. And something with the communication got bad. She came to my house about an hour and a half late. And I was upset about it. I'm not gonna lie about it. And I'm trying to bring myself back so I can save the night and we can have a good time. And I thought I did that. We got to the house. That was our first kiss. We was in the car. This is what on camera. So we kissed in the car and everything was fine. So I'm thinking, okay. And then the day, wasn't the best night because it started off rocky, but it salvaged. She got good. Everything was fine. And I'm not knowing that she gets kissed a guy that Friday. This is Sunday, Valentine's Day.
Oh,
so I'm
she had kissed AJ on Friday, right?
Yeah, and didn't say anything. Ooh. So I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, because I could have took Amber KG didn't take Amber on a Valentine's Day date, so I could have took her, or I could have it was a comedy show we were going to. I could have rewarded Tressa and said, babe, let's go do this comedy show and dinner for Valentine's Day. Because a lot of people didn't have a Valentine's Day.
And all these people on this show dating, but yet none of the men felt it necessary to go in their pocket and take one of their favorite woman on a date. That's so kind of asimine to me. This show, show is not ready to love. It's not.
Jason did. You know what I mean? He came. He tried to do something for Kyra.
Okay. Well, 2 guys out of 10 guys. Wow.
Yeah. So we were trying to do something, but I knew, I paid for side dates. I was doing my own thing. I was like, if I'm going to be
with a woman, showing them what a real man does.
Yeah, I'm going to invest in
as far
my
as I'm concerned, I hate to say it that way. I hate to sometimes I hate to use the term real man, but
wasn't paying for it, they weren't going to spend, they weren't going to move. But I'm the type of person, I'm going to invest my own. I don't need production dollars. I'm going to do what I want to, have to do for the woman I like. So, like I said, if I would have known about the kiss on Friday, I wouldn't have took her to Valentine's Day. I would have said, figure it out with whatever your feelings is with AJ and get back to me. I wouldn't have left her or anything like that. I would have just been like, because we're all dating each other at this time. She knows I'm dating Amber at this time. She knows they're talking back and forth. They're best friends now at this point. So they're knowing that I'm talking to both of them, and I'm very open and transparent and letting them know I'm talking to both of them. Let them know this is what I'm saying to this person, this is what I'm saying to this person, until it's time to make a decision. But like I said, if you have feelings for a guy, I didn't kiss. If I kissed it, Amber, it would have been a problem. I would have had to tell her right away. That's just the rules that me and her had in place.
I was just about to ask you that question. Is that a rule that the show has in place and it is expressed to all of you? Okay.
It was a rule that me and Alexis had. Like I said, Amber came to my house, like I said, at one point for dinner, and we cuddled and watched the movie and things of that nature.
Ooh,
And
cuddling. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
and she said, she's like, I had to tell Diedrich. I talked to Diedrich, and Diedrich was like, you need to tell Alexis about that. And he said, you just need to get ahead of it and let her know. And I felt he was right, So it was a day late, maybe, but I called her up and I let her know about the situation. I think she might have already knew, but she said, "Yo, did you kiss her?" And I said, "No, we didn't kiss." So then after that, that stuck in my head and said, "Okay, if I do happen to kiss a woman, even if it's chrysanthemum and that's my number two, top person, I need to tell Alexis right away. Transparent about it. I didn't want nothing to come back to bite me for holding in the situation we're all dating.
Right. Have that kind of high character where you're letting people know you're communicating.
Yeah, and this beginning that this has kind of got a game show aspect to it, so you can't really tell all your moves. Like it's really if anybody else in the future cast, if you're hearing this, don't do this. Keep your cards to yourself. Don't tell everybody what's going on because they're not telling you. You think they are, but they're not.
There's a lot of craziness, Ron, behind these scenes, and even on the camera. This season you was on, my goodness.
Yeah, so they're not telling you everything. You know what I mean? So you can't do that. So after, like I said, the Valentine's Day, we had a storm. I'm thinking the storm is a good time where you with your number one, where you guys battle together and share supplies, and this is going to bring us closer. And I didn't really hear from her like that during the situation, and I'm like, I'm upset about that. You know what I mean? Like, who's checking on me like that? You know what I mean? I'm hitting her up, and I understand she got a kid and she's going through the stuff too. But I'm here to help, whatever resources I got, and then
So you're saying that Alexis did not call you during this time, and that was a really bad storm because I don't know if you know this, but not only am I born and raised and from Detroit. My mom's side of the family is from Houston, so I spent every summer in Houston, and I recall my family going through that, and that was a horrible storm. That was really bad.
And it was like, because I got everything on text message. Like I said, I don't try to remember what happened on Ready to Love. I read what happened on Ready to Love because 95% of my communication between Alexis and Amber it's still on text. So
so you literally have receipts still.
Oh yeah, I got all the receipts. I got the whole show behind the scenes.
Oh my goodness! A tell all is coming soon.
Yeah, you can't tell me what happened on the show. I got it. I got the
Ooh, wait a minute. Okay, so through the text messages, because one of our viewers and someone in the chat, let me go back to that. Right here. Naturally, hon, I'm sorry. I'm nearsighted. Naturally, Von Lou wants to know, how did you find out about the kiss? And I'm assuming she's talking about Alexis' kiss with AJ. How did you find out about that?
She eventually had to tell me. She told me a week later, like that following Friday. And she said, she called me up and she said, we need to talk. That was the Friday before. I got eliminated that Saturday. That was that Friday night. And that's the 3-hour conversation we had. And she finally said, hey, I kissed AJ. He's smooth. He's more my, the type that I'm used to dating. And, I might want to, move forward with that. And I'm like, what? How? Like, where's this coming from? This and that. And why are you telling me, like a week later? You know what I mean? Like, Like, I was like, why didn't you give me enough time? Because if you would have told me then, I would have been, I just felt it was a little gamish. She would never have told me that if chrysanthemum was still there. You know what I mean? Because she knew what that outcome would have been. I would have, okay, I'm going to fully see what's going on with chrysanthemum, make her my number one. AJ's not going to pick you number one on his list, and you're going to be eliminated.
Oh, wow.
So she's playing it. You know what I mean? I felt it was kind of like, here's a guy who's been real with you, and you kind of playing a game with this of kind of prolonging it on purpose and things of that nature. And you kind of, you're messing with my journey now on this. And, I was here for the right reasons. And all I asked for was some information. You know what I mean? Just be real with me. I was going to keep it real with you. And, so after that, I'm kind of in my head, I'm done. I'm like, we get done with this conversation. It didn't go well. Her personality changed. I felt like I was, once she didn't need me to make it to the end, maybe, or something like that. Her demeanor went from great, understand, this type of woman to a woman that was kind of like diva-ish. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And like kind of snapping this and that, and I'm like, oh, where did this come from? This girl wasn't the one there, and I say, okay.
So is she no longer, not to cut you off, but just to kind of get some clarity, so now is Alexis at this point, now she's no longer trying to text you, call you, and kind of let you know that she really feels you?
She don't need me anymore. She knows, okay, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna think AJ's telling me that he wants to go to the end with me, or or this and that. I'm gonna believe him and I'm gonna go that way. Maybe that's a better look for me. And I'm okay, you know what I mean? Of course, at this time I'm hurt. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'm okay with it because I'm like, okay, she's gone. I don't want anything to do with that. We didn't end the phone conversation on anything bad. I was telling her, give me a chance. You know what I mean? Because honestly, I was being a gentleman. I didn't make a lot of sexual passes. Or things of that nature to kind of maybe spark up the heat. And that's why, even with that, I hate to even bring back that situation with Eric and things of that nature and stuff. But as a man, you don't know how to act on the show because sometimes you have to test the spark limit.
Right.
You know that it's a romantic connection here, or you know what I mean? That's leading to that because we are human.
Right.
So, like I said, even on our date of the golfing date, putt-putt date, everybody was like, kiss her. You know what I mean? I didn't. I was like, I didn't feel it was right to kiss her right then. I'm not going to kiss a woman under pressure or something because somebody told me to. I'll wait for my right time. You know what I mean? I'm being a gentleman and this and that. And gets the way, and AJ was being a little more, in essence, that AJ is in real life. He's a good dude, but
but AJ, I'm just gonna say, and he can come on and contest this too. But AJ, he's a nice guy in some ways, but AJ wasn't ready, and that as a viewer, to me, most of us could clearly see AJ was not ready. Okay, and basically, and we'll just say this, and basically, when we got to the end of the journey, your season, his mother confirmed that he was not ready. Now, when your own mother confirms that you are not ready, that's a pretty clear sign that you are not ready.
His own mama said it.
And like I said,
she did.
A good dude, man. That's a smooth brother right there. That's a good dude.
He's smooth, all right. Good at getting them panties off.
He's smart, but and that's my boy. Like I said, I love him. But I'm saying, like I said, within that situation, I probably wasn't as hands-on, you know what I mean, as maybe she might have wanted or things of that nature. You don't know what you're allowed to do. I remember when Chrysanthemum, it was a situation where she did, she came out. My mom had to come in town because she already bought her tickets. And they live in Detroit. And we were at a spot downtown, and I invited my mom, I invited Cassandra to come over because she lives right around the corner. And it's late. I mean, we're talking about 12 o'clock. And she came out for a little glass of champagne, met my mom and the kids and stuff. But everybody meets my mom, so it wasn't like a situation. My mom is Detroit. She likes to hang out. Right. All my friends have met her, you know what I mean? So when I was walking her back to the car, to her Uber, it probably was a perfect time for a kiss. And I didn't feel that it was ready. You know what I mean? That it was there. And I was like, in this situation, if it was Alexis, the kiss probably would have went down. So that was right there was my turning point to really put Alexis number one over Chrysanthemum at that point. And it wasn't Chrysanthemum's fault. She's a slow roller. You know what I mean? It takes her time to warm up to certain situations. And it's a very short show. We're only filming 3.5 weeks, you know what I mean, at this time. So
okay. Wow.
We had this discussion even at lunch of saying, like, man, like it takes you a while to warm up. Like if we were doing this in real life, I might slowly take you on dates and we might end up dating July sometime. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Some women are like that. And I don't put that.
Yeah.
It's a woman for being a little more of a slow roller than another woman. As long as I know that up front and I kind of knew it.
Okay.
I don't put that past her. It wasn't a situation where that was a negative towards her. It was just more of I had to make a decision. And that's where, I kind of got put in that situation. And then, like I said, with Amber, it was kind of the best of both worlds because we had the affection there and things of that nature, but it was the KG situation that I didn't know a lot about. You understand? I don't see the dates. So
right. You don't see him until after the show is over with and it's wrapped.
I had no idea. I'm over here begging for one date with this woman, and then she's been on 12 dates with this guy.
Wait a minute, who are we discussing now? Alexis or Chrysanthemum, or who?
Talking about Amber and KG.
Amber and KG. Okay, gotcha.
So I don't know the Amber. You know what I mean? I'm going by the male deliberation of who likes who, right?
Right.
In the beginning, you know, KG wanted like the Stacy.
Right, I remember that, but I think once they actually sat down together, he could clearly get the vibes that Stacy had no interest at all in him. At least that's the way it came across to us viewers.
Yeah. And I think, but at first, you know what I mean, I'm over listening to the people, you know, that's all I got to go on, because that's the only time me and the men didn't really speak that much to each other. The women were speaking to each other all the time.
That's the thing, right? Yeah.
So that's the only time in the male deliberation where I can kind of find out who likes who and what's going on. He was like, "Oh man, I like her." You know what I mean? It's nuts. I'm like, "Okay, cool." Stacy there, and then when Stacy got eliminated, I'm like, "Okay, you next." Like,
oh Lord!
And it, like I said, nothing to do with like I said, with KG. Like I said, I love KG, cool dude. But during the process, I felt I was the one that was like, and I'll be perfectly honest, I was just like, man, like, what is he doing here? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you were just another season, bringing somebody back, messes up the whole chessboard. We only got 10 women to choose from. You know what I mean? You get, you know what I mean? Now you, it's changing things. Like, and you kind of tell you getting some special treatment.
It did seem like that. Well, see, I was saying this the other day to who did that we had on the other day?
Keena, you were saying that to Keena.
I was saying to Keena, I see clearly. I mean, again, from a viewer's perspective, we can see things differently than you guys when you're right in the midst of it. It's like that old saying about seeing the forest for the trees. But I said this the other day. Production clearly every season has favorites and non-favorites. Okay. You know, and you can see it. You can see that, like you said, KG. Come on. They brought him back twice. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking of him as an innocent bystander because I didn't know KG from season 3, even though he lived in Houston and he's on the radio and stuff like that. We never met.
Right.
But like I said, cool dude. Like I said, I love the guy to death. But I'm during the process, I'm thinking different. In the process, I don't know you, and nobody's telling me what's going on. But I'm feeling like. I was like, can this dude do anything to get eliminated? Like, if he literally took a piece, would he be gone? Like,
apparently not.
Yeah, he eating lunch from a different. You know what I mean? It was kind of like he was different from us. We over here in the trenches. The guys, like, we in the
right. Oh yeah.
So
production favorite.
You kind of had that situation going on. So that's what happened. So after we had that 3-hour conversation with Alexis, I'm like, who's left on my board? I was like, well, the only one left is Amber. And at this point, I don't care if I get eliminated or not. I'm not talking to Alexis again. I want to still keep my relationships going to see what I could explore off the camera. Because I'm not here for the cameras. Like you said, I could take my numbers and I could have left a long time ago. I would have still explored those women. So I hit her up and I said, what you doing? It's Friday, and she's like, I'm out with some friends. So I say, well, I need a drink. Like, babe, I just got off a 3-hour conversation with Alexis. Didn't go well.
Okay. So now were you a little bit in your feelings, Ron? Come on, tell the truth now.
I wasn't, because you gotta understand, Amber been talking this whole week. I was gonna buy her some gym shoes for Valentine's Day too. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was almost about to make a decision. Alexis didn't. I wasn't going to go to the end with Alexis, or else it was earned, or else I felt that was the woman for me. So it was no guarantee on anything. And I would say I was still interested in Amber, and she knew it. And up to this point, I was still talking to Amber every day.
Okay.
So I didn't, it wasn't a decision made. So I went to the place, not expecting anything. I didn't expect her to even show up. I'm just I'm having, a drink, having a good time doing my thing. So she comes, she says, I'm going to bring, some friends. She's like, my friends are gay. Is that okay? I said, no problem. You know what I mean? I'm not that type of person. You know what I mean? Everybody's welcome. around me. That's just who I am. So they come in, I get everybody in, we get a table, some drinks. I meet the same guy that KG met, the ex-boyfriend.
Oh yeah, the old boyfriend that found himself afterwards, right?
Yeah. Found himself.
He came out the closet, I guess. I'm trying to be, I don't know the term sometimes. They change. He came out the closet.
He was going out to the army or something. He was about to go. So he was kind of like his going away situation too. And he was cool. I mean, he was cool with me. Yeah. He liked me. I liked him. I liked all our friends. A few of my friends showed up to say hi. And me and Amber we were vibing this night. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dancing on each other all through. Everything was cool.
Was y'all doing that Detroit style?
All that, right?
I got you. Things were getting hot up in there.
It was getting hot up in there, and then the kiss happened. You know what I mean? I didn't kiss her. It wasn't a situation where we kissed. Like, you know what I mean? And kept dancing. and you know what I mean? And I walked into her car, gave her a hug. We text back and forth that night. Text when you get home. She texted, got home. Had a great time. Got all this on text message, all the receipt. Had a great time, this and that. I was like, do you see what I see? Yeah, I see all heart emojis and things of that nature. Okay. And then I'm kind of realizing that, okay, regardless, I'm going to be gone tomorrow. Like, it ain't just because I got a connection with Amber, because we have zero camera time, because they won't put me on dates with her. I've been asking from day one. So it's something going on in that KG situation. I mean, I'm not dumb. So
we kind of see the writing on the wall.
Yeah, right. They're not, even though I have a connection with this woman, they're not gonna let me battle this guy over at the resort over her because they ain't gonna let that play out.
Right, so, it would ruin their narrative that they already have created.
It would have killed the narrative. Yeah, so so I'm okay with that, but I'm okay to still talk to her after. And I tried. And like I said, even on after we got done filming and they got to the end, they had an event. I think it was KG's event. I sat with Amber on that event. And her friends, they got drinks and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. And then I started hearing more rumors and stuff with production and things in this nature when it came to the reunion. And I probably shouldn't have went. I don't know why I did. But then that became the setup situation.
More setup.
Yeah.
Because I was going.
We're gonna really try to get. We going after him, and it was rumored beforehand.
Yeah.
My cast can't hold water.
Yeah. Right.
And
because I was going to ask you after you was eliminated, and everybody please hit like. If you're here, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Do it right now while you're here.
Thank you.
We're enjoying Mr. Ron from Ready to Love Houston here. Mr. Player himself. But
from the Detroit Himalayas.
Right. I was going to ask after the elimination. I was going to ask, did you remain in contact or relatively close to anybody?
Yeah,
from the cast.
Yeah,
until the reunion.
Yeah, I was still talking to Chrysanthemum for the most part. We after my day of my elimination, I went out with Stacey and Chrysanthemum.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I went out with them that same night. So.
Wow. Yeah, that's great though. I love it. I
was ready to go. In the end, I was keeping up, but after you get done with the show, you kind of see what's going on there, and then I just kept seeing stuff. Like one of the red flags was when they had Amber say that I'm off the set now at the resort, that I told Joelle about, or something, Benicia about, or I told Amber about Joelle picking Kyra for that in the deliberation, which was a total lie. Me and Amber didn't talk like that. And when I saw a lie that blatant, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
If something's about to come, somebody know damn well if I was on set and somebody said that, I was gonna raise holy.
Against your better judgment, you said Against your better judgment, you went to the reunion.
Yeah.
Why did you go against your better judgment?
I didn't know no better. I thought like I had to be there. I got a car accident the night before. I got a concussion. I barely have any sleep. I wasn't even afraid to drive my car up there because like I said my whole front end is smashed, and you had to wait in the car, so I couldn't call an Uber to take me there because the production be having you wait for hours sometime in the car. I wasn't going to. Uber wasn't going to wait in the car for an hour with me, so I had to drive up my smashed car and barely get it up there.
Really? Wow.
And they're looking at me, but it was almost like they were like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, I hit my head. I don't feel." But it was almost like they wanted me so bad. It was like, "No, you can't." It took my phone. Like, "No, you can't go."
They took your phone.
Yeah, it was like you can't go, this and that. Because it almost like it was like a pressure, like for me having to be there, and I didn't want to be there. Like at one point, like I said, I just didn't. And people don't care. They just trying to make a TV show. So it's just this whole first segment is supposed to be us tagging your ass, so you ain't going nowhere. Almost how I felt. So when I went there, like, I'm like, I don't care anyway. I was like, I got the truth. That's all I got to do is speak. Not only I got the truth, I don't got to remember the truth. I got it all in text. I got everything here. I'm rereading everything. I'm up to the speed. Only thing I had to do is speak my truth. But it was almost rehearsed. I think they had rehearsal 3 days a week up to that point where they knew exactly how to play it and things of that nature. And the only way out was what they knew I wasn't going to do. And even Stacey said, Uriah, you got to throw your own lifeline on that one. You're looking, with nobody to save you, but they already had you plotted out. What you had to do was basically say, and the only way out of that situation, if I would have had to be like, Alexis, you're God, you're great mother, you do nothing wrong. And Amber and KG, y'all the best couple ever. I ain't gonna love you all. Exit, bye. Give everybody their praise and not voice the truth at all. But they knew I had the truth, so I was gonna speak it. This is who I am. You know what I mean? I knew the way to get out the situation was just to kiss ass, but I don't kiss nobody's ass. It's just not who I am.
Yeah, that's not a nice thing to do. Unless you're a freak or something.
I want to go back a little bit, okay, Ron? Okay, I've got a couple of real specific questions because they were in the chat and then on my own. We touched on it, but I want to go a little bit deeper if that's okay, and then we're gonna let you get on out of here. We gotta catch up with what you're doing today, but it was just on the RTL part of it. Okay. You probably remember this line right here. I thought you were smarter than that. A lot of people still remember that line coming from you. Can you tell us a little bit about what was behind that line that you said after your elimination date with Alexis?
Well, on elimination date, you guys got maybe 5% of the conversation.
Okay.
The date, that was a long conversational date, and 90% of it was about AJ.
Oh, really? Oh, so were you bringing up AJ, or was she bringing up AJ, or were you both just discussing AJ?
I brought him up because at first she started off trying to keep her narrative. So she started off attacking my religion again, like she kind of.
Oh yeah, okay.
And now I'm pissed because I'm like, girl, dang well that we are on the same page when it comes to religion. We talked about this stuff from day one. I would have never approached you as my number one if we weren't on the same page with this, where I wasn't good enough religion-wise for you, and you always told me, oh, I ain't been to church in a year and a half either because of COVID and this and that. It's so good that you're doing Bible study. You know what I mean? You were all on me saying how well I was in that category.
Right. That you were doing your studies. Right.
Yeah, now you're changing it up for the narrative, and now you're gonna do it in front of my face. Oh, wow. Now I'm looking at her like, don't do this. Like I'm just looking at her like, if you let me go, but don't do this. And and you can see it in my eyes. I'm just looking at her like, come on. So
yeah, you looked hurt. You looked hurt in that moment. You looked really hurt and confused. Why would she say these things?
Yeah, why are you doing? We just had a 3-hour conversation the night before. We did not talk about religion one time. What we talked about. So why are you going with the narrative here? So I was like, okay, if you're gonna do that, let me go back to what the conversation was really supposed to be about and the real reason why I'm here. So I said, okay, forget that. What about AJ? Is AJ this religious guy, that leader that you need for your house? Is you know what
exactly,
I mean? So
exactly.
now I'm shooting AJ's name on every single frame I can, and in the production, they edit all that out. They did not say his name one time during our conversation.
Of course.
And that's why you don't even got me saying a lot of words during that deliberation. You got me blurting out stuff because my synthesis all had his name in it. And
right. They cut all of that out.
yeah. So when I'm telling her, I'm saying, girl, I was like, you back on this AJ thing. I was like, this man did not call you or talk to you up to a week before he knew he was about to get eliminated. He said in our deliberation, I'm next to go. And then he pulls on the charm on you after this guy then left you in my room for 3 hours. He don't hit you up. You even said it yourself, you know what I mean, in the 3-hour conversation that I don't know if he's ready, but you know what I mean, I can handle a guy like him. I'm used to it. I'm like, you know, you got a kid, you know what I mean? Like I didn't get it. I said, you know, he's only doing this to stay on, to get your vote. And I was like, and that's what I said, I thought you were smarter than this. And I said it with meaning because she's one of the smartest women I know. The woman's a go-getter. She's a killer. She's a go-getter. She that's one of the things I liked about her. This woman can go. If I was picking a team of professionals or somebody I wanted on to work for me, she would be my first draft pick. So
yeah, but she saw what she wanted, Ron. It affected her judgment. That's it. It happens to a lot of smart people, men and women.
Yeah. So when I said I thought you were smarter than that, I really meant it. I was like, like you're smarter than this. Like you know what he's doing, like, and you know how it's gonna turn out, and it turned out exactly that way.
Right.
Right.
Well, when you put your trust in them, okay. I'm not saying this is you, AJ, if you're out there listening, or any of his friends. I'm not saying this is you, but generally speaking, when you put your trust in the F boy, you usually get, like the saying goes, you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes.
Mm-hmm. And Ron, let me ask you this too, because you apparently coming across in this season as one of the nice guys, and there's an old saying: "Nice guys finish last." You know, do you believe that, or do you believe nice guys can finish first, depending on the selection of women that they have?
I believe some of it. I believe in Ready to Love, which is a different dating aspect than real life. Yeah, of course, nice. Yeah, there's never been a nice guy yet that's finished.
Right.
It doesn't happen tonight. Yeah, you're a nice guy on this show, you're gonna get ran over.
Yeah, I can dig it.
Dealing with some ambitious people that really, know what they want, in certain aspects and stuff. And yeah, you can't go by that. You have to. It's a game going on. You got to play it. Yeah, it is what it is. But in real life, yeah, you can't. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be who I am at this age and things of that nature. And I had to come to grips with that stuff and say, I'm gonna be a gentleman. You know what I mean? I might take a young woman out to dinner. It might spend $150, $200 on dinner, and it might not go well during the dinner. I'm not gonna say, oh, this is not going nowhere where you pay your half now, or this. I'm gonna take the L. I'm gonna take the loss.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You agreed to go here. Maybe I didn't bet well. Whatever it is, this is on me. My only duty now is to make sure you get home safe, comfortable, and everything's cool. You know what I mean? I'm raised that way. I'm the type of person that likes to take care of people no matter what. So
yeah, I'm like that.
Short end of the stick on that, but if it's who you are, it's who you are. I'm not gonna change for nobody. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I want to commend you on that. Your family, your parents, your church community, they did a great job in helping to guide you and to help mold you and your own choices. So I think at a certain point we get to choices that we make in life that determine our character and who we really are. I just want to read this quote because I thought this was interesting, and then I'm going to be done with the whole Alexis thing. I want to ask you about two other ladies. Okay, be quiet, Alexa. It's okay, Alexa. It's gonna be all right. Alexa's trying to have a whole conversation over here with me.
Right.
It was weird that Alexa started crying about having to choose between her religion and Ron when she didn't have the same reservations about AJ. Fraudulent behavior. I believe you, Ron. I think that's how a lot of us felt, Ron, when we were watching that whole elimination scene with Alexis. You know, she's questioning your religion, she's questioning your spirituality. And the whole time, I never saw in any of the dates that she had with AJ, I never heard her once ask AJ about church, about religion, about spirituality. It was all about pressing up on his muscles and his tallness and him kissing her to distract her from the fact that he was really not showing her any really real true interest, except that he wanted to make it to the end. That's what I saw. So I'm just wanting to point that out. But I want to kind of ask you a little bit about your connection with Chrysanthemum after the show was over. I don't really understand. The one thing I don't understand about the show is that when there seems to us as viewers, there's this natural chemistry on screen with certain characters, or not characters, with certain people and certain couples. What I don't understand is what happens after the show is over. Are you just also like post-traumatic stress disorder, where you just don't want to be bothered with each other in a romantic sense anymore? Because I was wondering why you and Chrysanthemum didn't kind of continue to see if there was something there.
I tried.
Okay.
But I think, and rightfully so, I think a part of her felt that I had something to do with getting her eliminated. And I stuck up for her. You saw me say, you know what I mean? Even on the camera saying, I think KG throwing her under the bus. You guys are going after my number two, my top person.
You did stick up for her. And that was KG that threw her under the bus because he couldn't have his way with, she didn't like him.
Like I said, I wasn't in a position to really pick. They made us pick 1, 2, and 3. And that was the worst. If I had to do it over again, I never would have picked the number 1. And yeah, I just wasn't ready. Like I said, I didn't really have nothing to do with her leaving. They were doing double eliminations, and I didn't think she was going to be the one to go. I actually thought that from that deliberation that Venetia was going to be the one to go because she had the least votes. But because she was with Joel, and he's a favorite, you know what I mean? They weren't.
Venetia.
Yeah, okay, she wasn't going anywhere. So
those two were going to make it to the end.
So it ended up falling on Chrysanthemum. And I called her, right away. I tried to apologize. I tried to, you know what I mean, to get it back and let her know, it wasn't me and things of that nature. But like I said, by that point, you know what I mean, people feel certain, it's a show. Like everything's heightened and things of that nature. And like I said, I still see all my castmates. I still run into Chrysanthemum. Probably 2 or 3 weeks.
Is she still flying the friendly skies?
She's still flying. She's still Chrysanthemum. In fact, still alive and and there.
Okay. Because I just kind of saw something special, especially that date that you guys had, where you were sitting there playing kind of like an enlarged board game of Connect 4. Was that Connect 4?
Yeah, it's Connect 4.
Yeah. And I just really felt a good chemistry between you two.
We had a lot in common. A lot. I mean, even to the point that we only lived 3 miles from each other.
And in a city like Houston, that's a big deal because Houston is very large.
We know a lot of the same people in the city. We do a lot of the same things. And like I said, even for friendship wise, she's a little mad right now. Even to this day, I pull out an olive branch to her every time I see her. Because me and Stacey is cool, and Stacey like, man, y'all need to figure this out because I love y'all both, and I'm trying.
Right, she trying to stay out of, not be in the middle of it, basically.
But Ready to Love, and this is in general, and I haven't seen it different yet. Anytime you date somebody on this show, y'all not really cool after.
Wow.
I don't know a single person who dated. I can't name one person. What I mean? I mean, if you look at, Venetia and Joel don't talk that, like that. Liz and Jason don't talk like that. I mean, KG and Amber do, but
that's my third person that I'm coming to. But go ahead, continue on. I'm going to come to her.
But yeah, usually when you have a relationship with a person, between that, the interviews, everybody getting their truth off, victimish, everything going into it, you're usually not cool with a person that you really dated
Okay.
during the show. You know what I mean? But in
Okay.
me and Cassanthion's case, we should be. You know what I mean? And I think if
Yeah.
you look at Jay and Joy, they weren't cool up to 2 years, a year and a half after the show. And now they got a
Yeah.
show together and they're best.
Now they got a podcast,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So and Jay is a very good friend of mine, and he said, you know, you got to let people get over stuff at their own time and things.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think with me and Cassanthia, it'd be the same way. I think within time,
Okay.
because it's slowly getting better now, and I think.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you
within-
know, it may be what Jay said to you, right?
No, I think it exactly kind of similar situations, and it could be where we, you know, kind of have that friendship. Because, like I said, she didn't ever do anything wrong to me.
But you know what, Ron?
Some girls did. Like I said, the other two we ain't. It would never be.
Yeah, you know what, Ron? I'm finding that out. What you just said in my own personal dating life is that people got to heal in their own time. You know, you're hoping that you can remain friends and stay in touch because you do care about people. You dated, it didn't work out, but you do care about people. But they be angry and upset and everything.
Yeah, I think it was an interview. I don't know. Maybe I said something. She took personal.
Okay.
I said strike. I don't know exactly what it was, or anything close to what it was. I apologized to it because, and then Stacey said, you know, it ain't about what you said or what it is. You know, at any point, a woman just wants to feel protected.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now Stacey is telling
Yeah.
the doggone truth. And
Stacey
by the way,
always tells the truth.
Stacey,
Stacey's
Yeah.
I would trust any word that comes out of her mouth because she keeps it real with me all the time, and I love that girl for that. And like I said, after that, I've every time I've tried to do the right thing as a man, apologize, put out the olive branch, and do the right thing from what Stacey told me, you know. And I think eventually it'll set its course.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it will. And you know what I would say too, just from my own take as a woman, you don't need to apologize anymore, Ron. Excuse me, I've got a little crick in my throat.
Yeah.
You don't have to apologize anymore, but just, you know, recognize her when you see her and, you know what I'm saying, be friendly, but you don't have to apologize anymore.
No, as long as that apology was sincere,
Yeah.
that's it. You know, that's it.
But I want to move forward. I want to ask you about Amber. So Amber, is there any chances that you and Amber are still friendly?
No way.
Okay.
She I would never. I don't. What she did, I can't. I would never forgive.
Yeah. Trust. The trust is gone.
Trust is completely gone. I can't even be. I don't know if I can even be in the same room. You know what I mean? Even with Alexis, I understand why.
Okay.
Because I understand her dilemma, which she was going through at the time, because we talked on that.
Okay.
The Amber thing, you guess for no, I mean, for whatever reason you had, whatever you had to do, but you drew the line in the sand with me, and it was grimy, and I can't. I live by code, you know what I mean? It's just I'm from Detroit. We live by code.
Yeah, we do. We do have a code.
Some stuff we just won't do for fame, for anything. You know what I mean? Like for opportunity, it's just some stuff we just wouldn't do.
Yeah.
And it crossed the line big time. And I can't look at that person the same.
Yeah.
And I've tried. You know, I'm the most forgiving person in the world. And, like my boys, they told me this is what they admire the most about me. They said, you know what? When you was a kid and going to the suburbs, coming over here, you know, guys used to tease you and do this and do that. And you was, you know, the new guy, the small guy and stuff like that. And, you know, these was hood guys in the hood. So they stayed in the hood. I elevated. I got a degree, you know, I'm making I'm doing all this type of stuff. And he said, what admire us the most about you is when you got a chance to really stick it to those guys, like anybody else would have, you treated them with care, respect, forgiveness, and wanted to see them better themselves. And, you know, they admired it. That's how forgiving I am. And I felt I could forgive anybody, but man, and I still want to tell you the truth. I still want to deep inside.
Yeah. It's tough. Like I said, you got to heal on your own time. It got to be your time. You can't rush that.
Yeah.
Right. kind of what like Alex just said to you about with chrysanthemum, the same thing can apply to you too. So in time,
Yeah.
Mhm.
In the perfect world, I want to be
mhm,
cool with every single one of my castmates because I know what we go through during
mhm.
this process. I understand the trauma. I understand
The
what it is.
trauma.
I understand what it is.
It
You know what I
is
mean?
trauma.
It is.
It
Every
really is.
one of us has
You
went through it.
laugh not because it really is trauma.
Every one of us has went through it. We understand what it is. That's why
Hmm.
we're close. We're alumni. This is what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, your
And with
alumni.
Right.
alumni, you want to be cool with everybody in that fraternity, everybody in
Hmm.
that alumni, and
Right.
that's my dream through this situation. Like I said, I don't regret anything and Ready to Love.
Okay.
And when I did at first, I guess, but
Hmm.
only thing I really wanted was to get my life back. And at first, it seems like you're not going to, and then you finally fight and you get it. You know, you got some people who want their life back, some people that don't want their life back. Some people weren't happy with the life they had before Ready to Love, and they want to turn this into something, and you know they're going to keep on
Yeah,
trying to keep the fire going, trying
right.
or whatever they're trying to do with that. I was happy before I started the show. I wanted to be that same guy after, and I figured in some parts of it, I thought I lost that person, and I was going through trauma because of that.
Mm.
And
Mm. Uh-oh. Did we lose Ron?
Oh, it looks like we did. Ron, let's see.
Yeah, let's see if we get him back. He probably just had a little connection problem.
Right. We're waiting for
But
Ron, guys. If you're in the chat and you're watching this live at home, we're waiting for Ron to phone back in and come back into the stream.
But this thing with
Um,
forgiveness, Aubrey, this is pretty deep because
yeah.
people want to do. I mean, I know in my own life and the lives of people that I grew up with, people want to do everything they want to you, and then people just go, "Oh, well, you got to learn to forgive." Some stuff hurts bad. Some stuff cuts deep. You know what I mean? And although you want to forgive, it's just going to take some time. You know, I mean, you may or may never get to a place of forgiveness, depending on what the quote unquote trauma was. You know, so that's difficult. I've battled that throughout my life. So I know how difficult that can be. I've been through a lot. So when you start talking about this forgiveness thing, you know, it's a rough road. It's not as easy as people make it out to be. You know, they always you got these mantras. You know, you hear Oprah, forgiveness is not for you. It's not for the other person. It's for you, and all that stuff. It's like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. And we have all these sayings that people come up with, and we love them and we hang on to them. But the fact of the matter is, that has to come in your own time. It may take years to heal from some traumas. So
okay, hold on, hold that thought for a second. I'm getting ready to do something. Ron is back. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Ron, you back?
yeah, I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay. You were saying before we were talking about forgiveness, I think, and about
Yeah,
the
I'm
show
talking
and
about
alumni.
trauma. Like I said, I was going through the trauma trying to get back to my old life and being myself again after the show, and it was tough. I'm not gonna lie, and I think it's tough for a lot of cast members, and I think that's one thing that they kind of figure out. Like, man, this is it's hard. It's harder than you think, and what I want to tell them is, let the time help heal, and you'll eventually get your life back, yourself back, and and that's all I ever wanted. You know what I mean? Like I said, I was happy before I started the show. I wanted to get back to that person. And I liked that person, and I eventually got back there. And like I said, now I'm a ambassador for my castmates. You know what I mean? I like people to know the truth. And I know what they go through. They go through a lot.
You know what? I'm sorry, Ron. I didn't mean to cut you off. I wanted to get to after the show now. Okay. You said you're very adamant you want children. And this is why you and the other young lady couldn't make it because she had children. I think a grown daughter at this point. I think it was Tressa you was talking about before.
Tressa had an young adult daughter.
Yeah,
and she really wasn't trying to have any more children.
Yeah, she's not trying to go back to diapers at this point.
No, none of us are that have these adult children.
So, but how was after the show now? dating? You got any prospects? Any women you see that are motherly figures that you can have children with? How's it going out there now?
Marry and have children with.
Well,
Yeah, marry and have
I'm
children.
dating in Houston, which is a different beast.
Okay.
And this is like, it's a different beast, and it's tough out here. Like we are in a gender war. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So first of all, you just have to admit what's going on. But what I have learned,
is it like Atlanta? Is it like Atlanta, Ron?
It's getting there.
Okay.
Wow,
Okay.
that's scary.
Yeah.
But it's with Atlanta. But I think the ratio's not like that yet. I mean, it's a lot of good men here, and a lot of but it's still a gender war. Still a lot of stuff going on. The problem is not getting a female number or taking her on a date. It's getting that female to put effort in you. Because dating is different than it was 10, 15 years ago now.
How so?
Social media.
Yeah, now you got to compete you want a girl to put in effort to you. You want a woman to put you as a priority of effort. But now you're competing against social media. You're competing against other men. You're competing against the dog. You're competing against maybe her kids, and she got kids. You're competing against her career. You're competing against her girlfriends. You're competing against all these other things.
Right.
And you know what I mean? You're like, well, shoot.
Yeah.
I got to be, a priority. Maybe even I got to be first priority because the way I treat a woman is on autopilot. You know what I mean? I'm going to put her first as first priority and it's hard. Like I said, I have put my relationships as first priority right now in my life. I felt this was my time for that. I felt this is the best I'm going to look. My money is okay right now. Now I can put my head down and start grinding and make double the money, but I won't have no time to focus on a relationship or put it as a priority. So I have to make a choice at this stage and say, is it relationship first or do I make more money? And it's a real question I had to ask myself. Okay. And with that said, because if not, 3-4 years to go by like that.
Yeah, I sure will.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I won't have a relationship to show for it. So right now I'm dating a lot. I'm going through it, but you're dealing with, like I said, a different type of woman. You're fighting for that effort for her to put into, a relationship.
Right.
Somebody who puts that as first priority.
Right.
And we're doing that. And the scary part is, man, relationships has to be number one. I feel the number one problem in the Black community right now. And I'm in the Mecca right now because Houston is the Mecca of Blackness right now. Everybody's coming here.
Yes.
And
yes.
Here's the problem. Growing up with a dad, he told me the importance of retirement, having my money, and making sure I have money in my older years.
Right.
That's one of the things I thank him to this day for, having a father that showed me that. To the point where he even told me, he was like, your mother, even when I was like 24, he's like, you're going to have to take care of your mother at one point. I said, what are you talking about? I need to borrow $10 from her right now. You're going to take care of my mama. And he said, she's not going to have the savings at a certain point in order to live the lifestyle she wants to live at an older age. She's like, I see it coming. And she gets 65. She don't want to work anymore. And that's what's kind of happening. And I'm seeing a lot of Black women making good money. And they're doing their thing. And shout out to the queens and stuff. But guess what? I'm seeing Black people spend money like water.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We got 2 brand new steakhouses, Black-owned steakhouses in Houston that gets opened up. 10 years ago, white steakhouses couldn't make it in Houston. And they had business crowds that were coming in where you got a corporate card and you're been there for 14 people on corporate and stuff like that. So then you go to steakhouses with a $95 ribeye that's Black owned, and you see groups of women, 6 to 7, buying these expensive meals and stuff. And some of these women do this stuff 3 days a week.
Yeah,
that's bad for the arteries and the pocketbook.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So you got a generation that when they turn in the elder years of 60 and 65, they're spending money like water. You got hookah in every single bar and restaurant there. They're smoking now, drinking more. We're eating this fatty stuff. Health is going to be worse. We're spending the money, so they're making the money, but it's not coming in the same way. They don't know how much money it's going to really actually take to retire, and you're not partnering up. Like now, you better partner up with that police officer.
We're not partnering up like other.
Yeah, we got that pension coming in because you're gonna need that pension when it's time.
Right.
You talking about you make more money than the police officer? No, that pension gonna save you because you're spending the money.
Investing, Ron. Ron, we don't, and I'm big on financial literacy.
I'm a finance
really
degree.
Is.
I got a degree in finance. And I'm seeing them spend it like water. And it's the lifestyle that's making them spend it. If you were married with some kids and sending your butt down somewhere,
right?
You would be at home cooking them vittles for your husband and them kids.
Yeah.
Or if you had a guy like Alex, he would be cooking for you.
Yeah, I like to cook. Yeah.
I could sometimes. Yeah, I could too. I mean, I
better stop tooting your horn so much, huh?
But I agree with you, Ron. I mean, this social media generation, everybody taking pictures and posting for likes and all this kind of stuff. They taking pictures of their damn food and posting it. You know what I mean? I'm at this restaurant and so forth.
It's expensive, and
they burning money up. They burning it up.
And here's what I had, because like I said, I could be the person that complain and say women are doing this and women doing that, but that's just not the type of person I am. I'm an accountability person. Okay. And I see fear on both sides. I see women having fear towards our men of saying, I'm not gonna invest in that guy. They ain't sticking around. They're not doing this. They're not marrying this and this. They're not partnering up with us. I see men afraid of our women, talking about, I'm not taking her to dinner. She just wants chicken and leave me to the side and waste my money. And it's this big fear. And I had to step back, and I just recently have done this and said, okay, because this fear does exist and I see it, what am I projecting towards the females? Because it matters now. Because I have to get over that sense of fear that they have in the beginning of a situation for them to take me serious. So maybe I can't project. Because I used to be like, I'm going to throw this on social media, and if somebody throws me in a box about it, great. Good. I don't want them to know the real me. Social media. Let me, but that digital footprint matters now, because now women are saying, okay, maybe I'm not taking him as serious. He parties too much. And even with the show, you know how many women I've gotten from the show to say, I can't date you. You was on the show. I know women are all in your DM now. I know, now, you're recognizable to all these women. So therefore, you're maybe doing this and doing that. I'm like, dude, I don't even talk about the show. I'm not on TikTok on the show. I've done one live in the whole time I've been on the show.
Right. You seem to be very much, like you said, it seems to me like I don't know you that well, but I feel like I know you. But every time I see you out on whether it's the YouTube streets, you're maybe part of a panel for RTL, and you're very laid back. You seem to really be well adjusted.
Yeah, I go into where Ready to Love is. I go into the group that they have. And the only reason I'm in that group is because I know production's in there, and I like that.
You know what?
It's your time.
Right.
It's your time.
That's y'all favorite group, so I'm just going to take it over. And I was tailor-made for that. I would have joined that type of group anyway, because I was in a group before that, and half of the people that's in that group I'm before called Nomads is in the Ready to Love group. So I was already used to being in that same group setting. So I go in there, and now it's like family to me. I love, shout out to the Ready to Love group. I love everybody up in there.
We have a good time. We do have a good time in that group. I know exactly what you're talking about. And they crack me up in there. I mean, like, I've been in there, and I think it was Donovan that popped in from this season. And it was like somebody was saying something about Donovan, and Donovan popped in. And then somebody was saying something about Clifton, and then Clifton popped in. It was like, wow, that group
everybody knows. I think
bananas.
everybody kind of adopted what I did of kind of saying, hey, we know this is a rough group or stuff like that, but I'm going to come in from the beginning and say, hey, I'm not a cast member. I'm part of the group. I'm family. I want to come here because I really wanted to go use the group to talk about relationships in order to get some more of our single Black women in relationships. Because like I said, what I talked about earlier about the retirement thing, I saw the writing on the wall.
Right.
So I have a bigger agenda for being in there. It is more to kind of help people. And, I can't necessarily. I wanted to do a YouTube channel to try to help people through relationships and things of that nature, but I just took that promotion.
Okay.
Well, you know what? We've got a spot for you on our team on here on He Says, She Says, because seriously, we're going to be doing some more podcasts about relationships and finances. You and Alex actually have a lot in common, so we're going to have to talk about that offline, okay? Ron, if that's okay with you. But I want to okay, so wrapping up with the Ready to Love. Somebody mentioned it up here earlier. Okay, right here. Get that comment on the board. Somebody mentioned that RTL needs to have, they believe that they need to have a therapist on the show. What do you think about that? Because, you know, like you said, there's a lot of trauma. There's a lot of things that people are dealing with that have never been on TV before. There's just a lot.
Yeah,
and it's happening so fast.
They left us to fend for ourselves when it came to that. I didn't agree with. And like I said, I don't have any problem with production. I know what they had to do for a TV show. So most of the people on production, I love to death. Some of them are some good people. It's a top down type of tier situation.
Yeah.
You know, everybody there cool. Tommy and real. I mean, that dude's Tommy's an OG.
Tommy seems like he would be a cool guy. He really does.
Tommy's the type of person where, like I said, the OG. I respect the OGs, the real. You know, I'm from Detroit, and the real OGs of Houston got respect for Tommy. So Tommy always gonna have respect for me. You know what I mean? It just is. They like, you know, that's a real guy, and he is.
Right.
And like I said, I understand production got to make a show, and like I said, I have no regrets of going on the show, and I had to get to that point. But I would have got there a lot sooner. You're right. If it was a therapist on the show, if it was a relationship counselor on the show, if we had more help when it came to that, instead of it just saying make a TV show, if it was a little more invested into us, because I didn't know. You know, I'm leaving the show, and I'm like, what in the world just happened? I got targeted. I got this and it, and I don't know how to get back to my regular life, the one I wanted to get back to so bad. And, you know, I had to go through time and everything like that, and almost self-therapy and things of that nature to get there. But yeah, we need that. And even if you don't go through the process, you know who gets it the worst? The first person eliminated.
Yeah.
Wow.
Imagine you having to go through a year of work, interviews, everything, and this and that.
Oh, wow. I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah,
all the preparation going into
all this
it.
work of process. Then you told all your friends and family you was on the show, and then you're cut not even an hour in the show to never be spoken about again to them. They don't care. Once you're gone, you're gone. Nobody hit you up. How you doing? Nobody hit you up.
Yeah, nobody's talking about you after you're eliminated. You're just you're gone in the wind.
Never there. So it's almost like you went through that whole process for no reason, and it's almost like you're just a forgot about person. That's why the people that was voted off first and stuff, I always reach out to. Hey, we're doing this event here. It's gonna be some castmates. Bring your butt. I don't care. Get up. I know you don't like doing those type of events. I know you have kind of shunned your way on it, but you know you're part of this alumni with us. We love you. I love you. Come in there and kick it with us. And like I said, to Black, to Khalil, to Ida, I'm closest to them. You know what I mean? Because I understand.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think it was some of these people didn't even they were off the show for weeks and didn't even tell their parents yet. You know what I mean? It's an embarrassing thing to do. And I think they need to get rid of those first day eliminations.
I think so too, because you don't even get to know the person. I'm sorry.
They make no sense at all. And honestly, the mixer is a meat market. So you're not getting judged on your personality and stuff like that. No, we don't got we over here dating on super steroids running around. Nobody got time to know who you are the first day.
Yeah, meat market.
And you're good looking, you should make it through next round. Right. It's just how it is. If you're short and your gear wasn't all the way together, you might be in trouble. And that ain't love. That ain't what the show premise really is. So I think that should be different.
Yeah.
You're right, and like I said again, Alex and I just had Keena on. I think just a week or a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
And she's one of the loveliest women and so successful in her career and her private life. We it's hard to understand, how did they let Keena go on the first day? How did that
Right.
happen?
Looks,
Mhm.
looks. Let's keep it real. Everybody's judging on looks. It's a meat market.
Well, no, I think she's a very pretty young lady, but I do kind of get now. There's a whole thing about her black dress. If you saw, the episode.
Potomac. Yeah, the
We're
Potomac.
men ain't judging on that.
Huh?
You think men are really judging on that? You think
Well,
men,
no, what I'm saying is, look, I don't know who does the getting rid of or the voting or whatever, but then people said, okay, we see what we see as viewers is that the men had elimination, and they mentioned her. They mentioned that she wasn't into meeting the people, but then you find out there was a lot going on with her. You guys don't have any food. You're there from 9 a.m. till like 2:00 the next morning with little food, little water. Is that right?
Those are facts.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what she's saying. So I'm just telling you. So now, like maybe 5 hours into it, I know me. If I get hangry, you can forget about it. Forget about a date. Forget about anything, because I'm hungry. Feed me, doggone it. So this is what she was dealing with. I'm saying she's a beautiful girl. It's not her looks. I was saying the wardrobe, simply because there were some wardrobe issues, in my opinion. Keena, I love you, but I'm sorry, I gotta call it how I see it. The black dress was not dressing on you, and you got a beautiful body.
She's not picking her wardrobe.
Well, that's the part, and that's the part I wanted to get to, because I was saying this to her. I said, Keena, I said, I'm gonna tell you something. What I see as a viewer, production has favorites. When she came with a green dress and a black dress, they told her to wear the black dress, because guess what? Joy this season was wearing a green dress. So guess who's a favorite? Duh.
Yeah,
Right.
makes sense. Like I said,
I see it. I see it.
I wanted to wear a different outfit, and me and the head of production, we went at it, but I gave in. I'm glad I did. He actually picked a very good outfit.
And it worked out. Right. But you weren't in that list of, let me say it this way. What I noticed as an observer, and Keena, if you're listening, I got to say this. What I noticed when you told me that they allowed you to wear that black dress, and you had two outfits, but they picked the black one for you, and then they told you that nobody can have the same color as far as the women, and then the next person was Tiffany. Tiffany also had black. Guess who were some of the first two people eliminated on the women's side? The two people in black. So now I'm gonna tell you something. I worked, Ryan, you know about the auto show, right? How big it is here in Detroit, right?
Definitely.
I worked for years as an auto show spokesmodel. Okay, so I know a little something about show business. All right, and when I see things, I can kind of give an idea. I have a very good idea of some of the stuff that's going on with production, because I've been on both sides of it. Okay. So, I'm telling you, I don't care what anybody says. I see that production definitely has favorites.
I think from the day one, they kind of in their head know our routes. You know what I mean?
They do, because they got a narrative cut out for you guys.
Yeah, they know our routes. They get it. Yeah, and that is what it is. Like I said, I think first day eliminations, it doesn't give anybody a fair shot to.
Right. Yeah.
Because
I don't think
you got
so
time
either.
to get to know a person in that setting. There's no way in the world. We don't know those people after that first day. We don't know each other really that well all the way down. What helps is the phone, because we do talk a lot on the phone. You have to, because if you're not talking on the phone, you're not making connections. You're waiting on them to put you on one of those dates, and you know what I mean. Like, and some people you don't know how they're gonna be on a date. But I never saw a camera. I told myself when I go on a date. Yeah, I know I look bad on camera because I'm not looking at the camera. I don't know where it's at. I don't want to see a camera. I don't want it. I'm going to try to make this as natural as possible. So they had to tell me, move this way. Move. You know what I mean? Because I didn't want to see a camera person. But some people knew exactly where the cameras was, how to act. So
I can tell those people too, Ryan. When I'm watching, I'm like, okay, yeah, they got an affair going on with the camera.
Yeah, you're trying to figure out what's real and what's not. And
because some people do. They just have that.
Yeah, you're trying to figure out what's real and what's not. And it's tough for a male on the show because, like I said, it's some stuff we just can't do. It's a female show. Let's keep it real. And like even
wait, Ron, I would be remiss if what do you mean when you say it's a female show? It's a dating show for men and women.
It is, but it's the audience is
The audience is mostly female.
mostly female. That's why you can.
Okay.
That's why
I agree with that. I just
that's
wanted
why
to make
after
sure I
you can
understood what you
can
were
do a
saying.
live. You can do a 3-hour live dogging the men who might have made a mistake in a relationship, stuff like that. But if those men had a 2-hour live on a female, it would went totally different. You know what I mean? You can't do that. It ain't. It's a double standard within what's going on.
Well, Ron, I'm not going to even tell you what I think about why is it that on the show they sometimes have men who clearly aren't looking for women to date. Okay, we're not going to even talk about that part, are we?
Yeah, but some of the women ain't looking either. You know what I mean? It's a both way situation.
Mm.
Yeah,
y'all heard it here first.
Everybody had their own reason of being on there. And,
absolutely.
And love ain't the number one reason.
Look at Sabrina. Look at Sabrina from Potomac. This season.
Love is, people might say, "Hey, I want to go in there for this, and this," and if I find love, great. But to be that love is the first thing on their mind going in, the cities that we live in the caliber of men and women that they got on this show, if love was the first thing on your mind, you would have been in a relationship. Period. You're in Houston, Atlanta, DC. Come on now.
Yeah.
If you were that adamant to find somebody where you were able to, adjust and do all that, you would have been in a relationship. It ain't the first thing. People got different reasons of being on there, and you got to understand from a man's point of view is you're just dating. It's going fast. Now you're at the end. You end up with this female. Now, if something in your head says, "Wait a minute, I made a mistake," or this is not exactly, where I wanted to go. Or, man, I got some nice women hitting me up now. I might want to try that. You're now in the wrong. You're villain now for exercising any of that. In reality, you don't know. You only know that person a month.
Yeah.
Or, what I mean? And the men get themselves in trouble. It's our fault because we say a lot of things in the show on the phone and things of that nature. And I was trying to be careful with that. I was trying to be very careful to make sure I didn't say, "Oh, I love you," or "I'm," or,
right. Yeah.
And because everything you say, I thought I would have to back up. If I'm talking about her and her son, I gotta be a stepfather now. You know what I mean? I gotta be ready for that. I gotta prepare myself for that. But I saw other guys weren't doing that. I'm like, man, if you date this woman, you're gonna have to be a step. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna have to get to know the kid, and you're gonna have to be able to do this and that. And they weren't looking at it as a concern. When I was looking at it as a big time concern, like, yo, I have to step up and
But Ron, can I ask you a question? How old are you today?
What about 41?
Okay, so at 41, would you not agree that at 41, unless you're going to date a significantly younger woman, would you not think that you probably might have to be a stepfather, a bonus dad, or whatever people want to call it? Would you not think that's a possibility, right?
Yeah, it's a possibility. I was okay with that. Yeah.
I was going to say that was my next question. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I was okay with that. But I knew I wanted to make sure I was, you know what I mean? Because you're dealing with kids. I love kids, but you're dealing with kids. So you want to make sure that you're able to be in that role. But a woman has to be able to tell me what role I'm playing in that situation.
Yeah.
I think with Stacy, who has multiple kids, I didn't mind being in that situation, but I was trying to get her to tell me what role am I playing with these kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, am I gonna be, hands-on stepdad? Am I on and off? Am I friend? Am I this? You have to be able to move me into that situation. I know I'm the man and I'm the leader,
right?
Of the household, but I don't not experienced with 3 kids at this age. You got to you gotta help me with the game plan.
But I'll say this, Ron. I had a child at 43 and I was married at the time. So it's definitely possible to still have your own biological child at 43. All hope is not gone. I just want you to know that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
No,
he knows that. Yeah, he could be 100 and still have a child.
This ain't Abraham. This ain't the Bible. 100.
It's not that. The thing is, I'm making it a priority. Like I said, it's other stuff that I could be putting my head down in. I could be strictly like saying, hey, I'm just going to spend these 40s getting this bag like some people are doing.
Right.
But I said, nah, man, I don't want to. What I don't want to do is I don't want to end up being in a situation where I have to make a deal. Yeah. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, and you know what deal that is.
And that's it. No, I'm a little lost. What are you saying exactly? You mean as far as settling that kind of deal, or not having your own children? What are you saying?
Well, like you're older now, it's now easier to lead with money to set up your relationship instead of leading with your looks and your personality and your spirit. So it's easier for me to now say, shoot, well, girl, I'll just pay you. You just come over here and I'll take care of all that because I have that. And, we'll set up this deal here and we'll make sure, a lot of people, some guys lead with that. You know what I mean? And my dad remarried in the situation and they kind of have a partnership like that. It works.
Much younger woman, his second wife. Is that what you're saying?
She's younger, yeah, and she's good. She's a good wife. She's down, but he knows his role in that situation, and she knows her role. You know what I mean? And it's kind of a little less organic, as if I just met a woman at a restaurant bar top, and we just had an amazing conversation. And I courted her, and we just had a romance, and then we started from there. And she thinks I'm handsome, and I think she's classy and gorgeous, and we both have, a second half of our life aligned. It's a lot different than me saying, "Man, I ain't about to do all that work." Girl, you come over here and get this.
Yeah.
Let me get you this car, and let me get you set up over here, and then we go.
It's easy. It's easy to lead with money. It's easy to lead with money.
Yeah. What I do on a daily basis when it comes to dating, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's tiring. I can see why men are getting tired out. I can see why they're not making it a priority. I understand. I work hard. I go on dates after dates. I get a lot of the same women. I'm now adjusting myself to say, hey, I have to, like I said, I have to change my whole projection of what I'm projecting out of there. Meaning I might have to stop going, to these places as much. Maybe I need to spend, some more time alone at that. I mean, I'm making adjustments because I can't keep doing the same thing and getting bad results. I have to build something up in order to figure out, what works for me. But it's a lot of work, and making a relationship a priority is a lot of work for men and women. So I understand women are not doing it as much too, because you have to really want it. And I always thought, like I said, if I put my head down and just keep dating, I'm going to run into the right one. And it has happened and it could happen. But now, I have to be a little more, take a little more accountability and say, okay, what kind of energy am I projecting out there? What kind of man am I projecting out there? I know who I am. But am I showing that away to the person? You know what I mean? And like I said, show and things of that nature, I got to work even harder because some women are thinking, a woman that went out the other day, like I said, was like, but you're on that show. I'm like,
that really the love show.
I'm like, who cares about the show? I didn't even bring up the show.
You didn't bring it up. You think that if you had a big head, you would be the one bringing it up, but the young lady. Well, you know what? And to be fair though, Ron, that's a fair question. Now let's flip it around. Let's say you weren't the one on the show and you now run into Stacey B or Chrysanthemum and you know that they were on the show. You might have some concerns too.
No?
I
don't know how I would feel in that situation. I'm the type of person where I only judge a situation with a woman on how I'm treated. So I don't I've never been the type of person that cared that she was a millionaire, cared that she was the second to Michelle Obama, that cared that she was a celebrity or anything of that nature.
We are so much alike, Ron.
It doesn't matter if she's treating me bad. You know what I mean?
Well, right, because none of that matters if she's not treating you good. Like, okay, bye.
I don't care less who you are. Like, what I mean? I ain't doing nothing for me.
As it should be.
Yeah. You know, I'm not going to judge you for what you do or having your stuff together. Like I said, none of that stuff matters to me. I'm more, I got to be treated a certain way in a relationship. And if I'm not, there's really no other point of continuing that relationship. That's how it was, even with, like I said, the show with me and Alexis, when I found out, man, this ain't going to go that way, it was very easy for me to, everybody's like, dang, how can you just move on, Amber? Like, it was very easy for me to move on because that's just who I am. I'm the type of person, okay, that's not going to ever work. That's over. I need to get over that super quick and move on to, to something that might work. That's just kind of how I operate. So,
but Ron, let me ask you this. We get ready to wrap it up soon. I have a
couple more questions for him too, but go ahead.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up soon. But you got in the chat, I've seen, is Ron single? Is Ron single? So
right, that's what I was about to ask him.
Before we go, Ron, where can people find you at? If you on social media at all? Or
yeah, I'm on Instagram, and I do respond to everybody, fans, and all that who have questions. I think I respond to everybody. So my Instagram and my Facebook is both I am Ron Freeman, spread out. I think it's should be on my hashtag on my screen part there, but that's on both of those.
Mm-hmm. I'll throw it up. I am Ron Freeman, right? On Instagram.
And that's the same on Facebook too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm in Houston, Texas. I do get out. Like I said, I'm a social person. I don't mind, being out, taking people out on, dates, meeting people, and trying to see if it's a connection.
Try to do those coffees a little more and stop taking them out for those.
Yeah, it gets expensive, man. That stuff gets expensive.
I try to, like I said, I try to do dates based on if I'm going to have fun or not. So if I could take a person to dinner, I want to try. It might be a new black owned restaurant I want to try. Mm-hmm. And you just happen, to be a person I met, and I'll offer that. Like I said, we got a concert this Friday, Music Soul Child. I want to go see Music Soul Child.
Ooh, I love Music Soul Child.
So some woman is gonna go to Music Soul Child, whether if I like her or not, because I want some company and I want to go see Music Soul Child. So, a lot of times it ain't me just trying to, dazzle them with the date. It's just the stuff I want to do.
Right.
To do alone. And hopefully I'm just betting that the connection that happens.
Right. I think I need to be your dating coach, but here's what I'm trying to say. I get what you're saying. You're doing stuff that's fun for you, but I'm just thinking about it like this, though. It's also less time consuming and I think less emotionally
draining.
Yes, thank you for that word, draining for both you and for your date. That if you're just meeting, so let's say, for example, now that we put your IG out there, I am Ron Freeman, and also the same on Facebook, that if somebody got in your DM and you were both agreeable to this idea of meeting, why not just have a coffee date? Why not just have something simple and an hour and a half to get to talk to them and have conversation and kind of go from there? Because what I've seen, I'm not just speaking about you, but I've seen this with my friends where they go all out on a first date on somebody they really don't know. Because it's different going out on a date with somebody you know from work, versus you just, they dropped in your DMs and you don't know them from a can of paint. Why not just do something simple that's less emotionally draining, as Alex said, and just have them for coffee? And then, the second time you see them after you've had that first date, initial meeting, you talked on the phone a few times, now you can do all this stuff.
And that makes a lot of sense. I personally, in Houston, your first date don't go well, you don't get a second one. It's too much competition out here.
Woo! Lord have mercy. It ain't got like that?
Yeah, it's got like that. So it's bunch of stuff going on. Women are looking for any kind of thing to cut you. So I want to be in a situation where my confidence shines the most, right? So if it's something I want to do, I'm going to feel more comfortable. I'm going to have more confidence in that situation. I'm going to have a better time. And if I don't enjoy just meeting for coffee and I'm bored myself and I'm not shining at my best, it's probably not the best first date for me. That's what I've learned for myself. So
I
might do a little something more. I'm a little more confident. I'm a little more in control of maybe the other situations, the other places. Even if it's a basketball game, it's, stuff that I like to do. Because like I said, a lot of times you're not getting, you got to put your best foot forward around here because every guy is. And I I'm not trying to go on 30 coffee dates.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I get it, but I understand what
But
Aubrey's
it might
saying
just
though.
take one or two, though, is what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Okay,
yeah.
but my second, I got two more questions. Okay, so my next question for you, Ron, is I know you have a great career. You probably have a home in Houston that you love, suburban Houston or what have you. Beautiful homes out there. I almost bought one myself many years ago. I think it's called Kingwood, Texas.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Would you be willing, for the right woman, if you met someone, would you be willing to pick up and go to another part of the country where she might be living and working?
In the United States?
In the United States, yeah, in the United States. So say you meet someone and you guys have been dating. She's the right age. She doesn't have any children. She wants to have your babies once you're married. Would you consider that?
No.
So you're determined to stay in Houston,
Should have to
the
come
area.
in. I'm the man. I'm not gonna go to another woman's dwelling and start. You know what I mean? You can't do. I mean,
but maybe her career is such that, like I'm saying, like, I don't know how transportable your career is, but maybe her career is not such that she can move to Houston.
Then I have to make the money to be able to bring somebody here and support a wife and a family. But I've never been the type of person that wanted to move to somebody else's city. I'm not familiar with the city. That takes time to adjust. Then I'm starting up my career in that city. She knows her people are there. Her family's there. I have nobody there. I have to rely on that woman 100%. Moving somebody to your city is the hardest thing that men have to do. It's easier to have a kid with a woman in a different city than to move a woman to your city, because you're 100% responsible for that woman once she gets to your city. You moved her there. You have to make sure she's good. Even if y'all make it or not, you still have to make sure she's good. You brought her to that city. So it's a lot of responsibility. As a man, we got the shoulders. I'm there to be able to do that, to support that. But for me to go over to her, it's just a beta move, I feel. And I'm not built that way.
Okay. And then the other question that I have is, and then you probably really won't go for this one, but I'm going to, I just want to ask. I want to throw things out there, and I feel like you're going to give me an honest answer. Yeah. Would you go for now as time is kind of moving forward, and you're not the spring I don't want to say chicken because it's not a chicken, but whatever the male is or whatever, the rooster. So would you consider maybe at some point looking at a matchmaker, hiring a matchmaker to send you out on dates with good with women that are your equal?
I don't know. I think I'm my best matchmaker.
Okay.
I've been dating for a long time. I think I know enough about the dating market. Probably more than a lot of people, because I'm out here. I'm outside. I date. You know what I mean? So I get more information than a lot of people. Boots on the ground, I call it. And I put my eggs in a lot of baskets. I'm on online dating. You can catch me on online dating sites. I'm not afraid to say that. I was just going to ask you, had you ever tried that? Yeah, I would encourage everybody to do that. Everybody market yourself in any way. If you're looking for a relationship and it's a priority to you, you made it in your top 3 priorities that you want to be in a relationship. Go all out. Any resources that you can have, use. Like, even if it's a TV show, whatever resources.
Well, you definitely gave that a try. So I'm not gonna knock it.
Whatever resources is out there, you don't have the time, or in this dating market, could afford to not use them. You know what I mean? So if a friend told me she's gonna, I got a friend that's perfect for you. I'm gonna try to hook you guys up together. My friends will tell you all day. I'll be like, oh yeah, sure, go ahead. I don't say, I don't know. I say, no, go do it. You know what I mean? I'm
right. Yeah, that's how Ron. That's how my parents met, through who later became my godmother, and her sister-in-law worked with my dad, and my godmother knew my mom from church, and they got to talking, and they put the two of them together, and 6 months later they were married, and with bam, a year later there I was.
It takes massive action. My sister's different. She's looking to But I ain't doing dating site. Oh, you ain't gonna, no man you hooking me up with. And I'm, she's on that. I'm more like, hey, massive action is how you get success. I'm in sales. That's how we do it. So,
what did you call? Hold on a minute, Alex. What did you call it? Massive what?
Action. Taking massive action.
Okay.
Yeah. So
and you're a finance guy, Ron. It's a numbers game.
It's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. So putting yourself out there, you know what I mean, letting people know that, you know what I mean, that this is what you're looking for, and showing it with your action. And then, like I said, I do need to work on myself as in leading more with that. Because I think a lot of women, especially after the show and kind of how I present myself, maybe might not take me very seriously. And that's a problem, right? And even though I know who I am in my heart and what I do with my actions, we don't even get to that point because that person's saying, okay, from what I see or what this person is bringing out might not be very serious. And I might not even get the opportunity to meet that person or have a date with that person, or that person giving me full effort, which I really is what I'm looking for, because she has fear too, and she's thinking of something in a different box. So I'm working on kind of changing my digital footprint, kind of changing, you know, where I go, how I act in different situations to make sure I'm presenting, you know, one message instead of maybe two or three, you know?
Okay.
Because like I said, you got to be a husband material in order to attract a wife. I mean, it just is what it is. You know, I would never expect anything that I'm not bringing myself. Okay. Yeah, so I have to take accountability, and I like taking accountability for myself and actions and things of that nature. You know, sometimes I get caught up with saying, man, you know, I'm taking massive action and I'm looking for women. But while you're looking for women, you're looking for women, and women see you looking for women.
yeah.
That ain't what a husband does, right?
Right.
Okay, well, if he does find a woman, he's still gonna be looking for women.
Right.
Are you getting out in I don't know if you live in a condo or a house or home, but are you getting out in your neighborhood where there are possibly single women, you know, like being active?
Single women is not the problem. I'm very connected in this city.
Okay.
In single spots. I know exactly where to go and things of that nature. But with that said, it's a transaction because you have to take that from a date and during this process, the person doesn't really get to know you. So therefore, you got to get it to the point where she gets to know you. And then the woman has to, they got this whole fallacy that men, we're the ones that's playing around and all these women are ready to be wives in these relationships. And
not true at all.
It's not true. A lot of these women ain't ready themselves. And
they playing too.
I think I can agree that there's some of that. Yes.
Yeah. It's a lot of women ain't ready either. They think they are, but then when it gets real, or you know what I mean, or it was coming on, you know, it ain't all together yet. And you know, so you gotta look up. You know, you gotta get the right person. Right timing is everything.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, but like I said, I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna keep.
No, you're still a young man. You're a young man.
Keep working at it, hard work. You know what I mean? Make some adjustments to, you know, how I portray certain situations. Because like I said, I'm not gonna be that guy that blames the women all the time. Because what's that gonna do? You're not gonna be able to change a whole gender.
Right. You know.
Yeah.
And 41 is the new 31, so don't worry about it.
Well, and like I said, you only the best thing about it is the odds are on my side because you only need one.
That's it.
And you know what, Ron? You took the words right out of my mouth. That was what I was about to say. I have a single girlfriend, and I tell her all the time, all you need is just one good one.
Right.
One good one.
Right.
Yeah.
So Ron, do you have any last words you'd like for the audience to hear about you that maybe they didn't know, or anything you'd like to say before we head out?
Like I said, just about me. I'm just an honest guy, good energy. I'm a caring guy. You know, if you see me out, come say hi. I'm very, like I said, caring, generous, loving. I'm get you a drink. I'm gonna make sure you're good, make sure you're safe.
He gonna buy you a $200 dinner.
You want to
He gonna
eat?
make sure he ply you with that steak. With that steak.
tell
But
you
one
this.
thing I like about Ron, he's gonna make sure it's from a black owner.
If you're a black woman and you need a meal, you can get a meal out of me. If I'm interested or not.
I'm coming to Texas. I'm coming just so I can get a meal out of you.
We gotta
Hell, I'm coming.
I know I'm not in your age bracket, but that's okay.
We gotta take care of our own. I bought many meals and drinks against cool older women that, you know what I mean, might not have been in a relationship realm. But I'm like, man, come on, you cool. You talk to me. We talked about the show maybe or something like that. Let me take care of that for you. You know what I mean? You gotta be gentlemen. You know what I mean? And our women deserve it. They get good.
That's true. That is so true.
Yeah. And like I said, when it comes to the Ready to Love show, I love the show.
Yes.
I think it's a very good show. I was talking to a married couple the other day, and they were like, man, the show has helped us get to our 7-year marriage, because it's something, a lot of times couples don't have things they could do together, especially when they live with each other and they got separate things going on.
Right.
And the fact that couples can get together, can watch this show, can have a little jazz with each other about, man and female and things of that nature, and can kind of get some talking points out that they might not be talking about every day and within their relationship, makes this show golden to me. I think it's helping people. I wish we had more long-term connections. I think we're working on that.
Yeah.
It
seems like there's some of the people that are coming out of it that, you've got the Ages and Stages podcast. What is that? Simone and
and that's real.
Rashid.
Like I know Simone. Rashid's a great guy, and I love that union. I think I think they're perfect for each other. And I've known Simone a long time. I've known Rashid a long time. And
okay.
I think that I don't want to jinx them, but I think
right. We're not. We're definitely in favor of happy, healthy Black love and relationships. Also, on the other side of the country is Ace now and Tyrone seem to be doing all right.
And Tyrone's a catch. He
really is. He really is.
And I think a lot of people, you know what I mean? A lot of women sleep on the Tyrones out there.
As well, yes.
But a lot of women.
She knew exactly what she was doing. She knew what it was.
Yes.
She knew what it was. Right.
And trust me, a lot of women that might have been not there when he was cut around the time, I've heard there's a lot of them was up in them DMs for Tyrone because they know what it was.
Right.
He's a cat.
Yeah, he's a very stably person in his occupation, his profession.
Yeah,
he's actually a good guy.
Very good guy. Very good guy. Yeah. I love the guy. Good guy. And was ready.
I think he kind of got some editing things going on there, and I think when he said that he was wanting to marry somebody right off the bat, I think that kind of threw everybody for a loop, and so it got him eliminated.
Well, I don't think he was necessarily maybe a TV guy. But
right.
Sometimes you gotta be a TV guy. You gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta be look a certain way on camera, talk a certain way on camera. You know what I mean? We're on TV. It's a TV show.
Well, Ace said, I'm gonna self-eliminate because I think I'm gonna call Tyrone.
Shout out to the Tyrones that are out there, because a lot of good men out there like that. And I'll be honest with you, I'm in a males group. 7,000 in my males group.
And wow, all these guys are
single, and a lot of those guys.
Well, you know what you guys need to do is find a women's group with single women.
Well, a lot of these guys are discouraged. A lot of these guys have that fear I was talking about. A lot of these guys, some of these guys have given up, and a lot of these guys feel they've been overlooked, and they feel that this has became a looks game for women when, like, it's never been that way, really. Like, when the two things that matter the most of you being a male is a height, something that you can't control, and your looks, which is your genetics, something you can't control either, even if you maximized it. And that's what men judge women on. Like, why are they getting judged like that for women? They feel it's masculine. They feel a lot of certain different issues that they bring up in this men's group all the time, and some of them have merit, but it's that it's changing for their eyes, and these guys don't know how to adapt to it.
That's it. Now you just hit on something right there. We're going to bring you back so we can talk about this from a relational standpoint, not just from a sit down conversation with you, but we want to talk with also the viewers and the people in the chat. That's a real thing. Men aren't aware as aware as they should be that their looks, their grooming, and everything about how they appear physically is now at stake because women have more choices. And one of our choices is we don't have to be.
I tell guys all the time, it's the first thing you're going to, before you get your money, it would change your daily life before your money going up would change. Because a guy making 80K or 90K can present himself as like a guy that makes 200. But the first thing she sees is the looks, and the women are taking a lot more interest in it. I see it all the time. You know what I mean? And you have to maximize it because you can't change. You can't get taller.
No,
you can't change your genetics.
You can't change sometimes if you're a bald-headed man to be a man with a lot of hair.
You can't do that. A lot of this stuff is pre, sure. Because if you look at a person like say somebody like AJ who's 6'6" and walks on, he's not doing no work. I've seen it. I go out here all the time and stuff. He's not working. When they're coming up, you know what I mean? It just is what it is.
You mean you're saying that it's just easier for him because of his height and his stature that women are just kind of like going to be drawn to him naturally?
Because in this new age of women be a little more similar to how men judge. They want something like that. You know what I mean? They come up to him. It's not a lot of work, and somebody who might be a little, a good man, make more money, everything like that, and is ready, has to work a lot harder right off the bat. Now down the line, all that stuff changes once you get to know but people are not getting to that point. We're not getting to we've been dating for 3 months. Where are we going? We're not even getting to that aspect in these relationship things. Once we're in that point, a woman is more invested and things start getting the more realistic, but we're not even getting to that. And like I said, a lot of these men are feeling like they've never had to really dress up and grow a beard and hit the gym. And if you're a man that's really maximizing your looks, it's hard. You're working hard. You're going to the gym 6 days a week. That's weightlifting and cardio. You got to now go clothes shopping. Now you got to get to the barbershop. You got to get a skincare regimen together.
Not the skincare regimen, right?
You got to do it all. It gets. You're going to maximize it. You got to do it all.
Yeah. You gotta put the work. You gotta put the work in.
Manicure and pedicure, all of it.
Hey, listen, Ryan, Jay,
make money.
Jay Wadley in the chat is also saying, and he's a University of Michigan staff. He's saying that you gotta do the manicures and the pedicures. Yeah,
you got to do a lot. Plus, make the money. You ain't forgetting you working.
Right. You got to bring home that bacon.
And I guess women are saying, we're doing that too. We're working and we got to keep up with our hair, looks, and everything. And they're right. But it used to be where men would say, okay, we're visual. We want a beautiful woman. So we're gonna hold that to a higher stature. And but now a man has to have a look and make the money.
Right. For women, it's always been how they look and their physicalness, their physicality, their figure. And for men in the past, it was always, is he a good provider? Is he a solid provider with a stable career?
Yeah. And now we're not even taking what I feel is one of the most hardest things that's going on. And probably the most important is, can that person stay faithful? Because women care about that, you know what I mean? And women, you see how mad they're getting over the cheating, even with the ready to love thing. They're going.
You know what? Men care about it. Men care about it too, because women cheat too. So men care about it too.
Like I said, but it's a situation where it has to be. It's a certain type of guy who's able to be loyal and stay faithful no matter what. And I respect that guy. I know the characteristics of that male, and you have to keep that in consideration too. So now you're looking for a guy who's maximizing his looks or naturally good looking, making the money, has the characteristics of a faithful guy, and hopefully, and not even with all that, women want this entertainment aspect now because now we're in the social media world. Now the guys to be entertaining. Right. She's bored.
Yeah.
You're out of there too.
This social media stuff,
Wow.
man.
And
Wow.
men are
There's a
boring. Men are boring. We want to sit back, watch the game.
Yeah.
right, and you want us to go get your cold beer and have the little booty shorts on while we're
want to
doing
chill.
it. I got it.
When a man gets into a relationship, 9 times out of 10, he's getting into a relationship because he's tired. He don't want to
Right.
Because he been running through women. He been running through all these women out here in these streets.
He don't want to see another woman. He don't want to see a bar movie, a date spot. He want to sit at the house with you and cuddle up, get his scalp rubbed and watch the game, a good movie and get a simple life so he can get up and go make that money now because now he can focus on that because he got a woman at the house.
Yep. 3 things. All men want 3 things. We want consistent, good sex. We want a good meal, and we want our big screen TV with the sports on. That's it. Very simple.
You get in a relationship, and these women acting like, "Oh, okay, where's the trip to Paris? Where's the this?" I got in here to chill for a little bit. Hold on.
You know what I mean?
Because her girlfriends are doing it. She's seeing her girlfriends doing it on the thing. She don't realize you just got a relationship with her. They've been dating 5-6 years. She's like, I'm part of the crew now, so now I want to do what they doing. Oh, they going to Aruba. When we go on Aruba, I want to chill for a little bit. I mean, let me sit back and stack some of this money.
There is so much we could say on this, Ron, but if it's okay with you, I'm gonna reach out to you and we're gonna continue this conversation. I'd like to continue it if it's okay with you. Continue it on another. I'm sorry.
No, definitely.
Yeah, I would like to continue it, and because we're almost 3 hours into it, and we're always saying, why do people have these long podcasts? We got to get up and go to the bathroom and eat some dinner about the past. Hey, look, I don't want to be treated you like the production crew at RTL, okay? I don't want to be doing that Ready to Love. You're gonna say, oh, I went on Aubrey's conversation sit down. And I was so hungry, my stomach was growling. I was about to pass out. I don't want to be that person, okay? Ron, we have really, truly enjoyed you. You are just amazing. I enjoyed our conversation, our time. Like I said, if there's anything else you want to tell the viewers how to get in touch with you,
like I said,
please feel free.
Yeah, just hit me up on I am Ron Freeman. Like I said, Instagram or Facebook. Watch Ready to Love. Great show. I support all my cast members. I love them all. They're real people. They're good people. Don't be so hard on them.
right.
On them blogs because they are real people. And I've met a lot of cast members from the different seasons of the show. They're all genuine, good, stand-up people. So let's continue to support them in the show. And I'm always watching. I'm a supporter of the show and alumni of the cast. And like I said, I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for myself to find love and everybody else. Because like I said, we got to do something with these numbers in our community when it comes to marriage.
Yeah, we in the African American community are really lagging well behind other communities in marriage, having children within wedlock, having viable families, and we're lagging behind, and that's a real thing. So like I said, we're definitely going to have you back to talk about that more on that level. I want to thank all our viewers. I want to thank all the people in the chat. If you haven't already, please like the video. If you're in the chat or you're watching at home, please just go over and like the video. It's a way of free support of content creators like me that do this from our heart. I want to thank Rod. I want to thank my co-host, Alex W. Leath. And I want to say, guys, stay tuned. Tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to have Tori. We're doing another sit-down conversation, guys. So get ready. And with that said,
thank you, Ron. Thank you, Ron, so much, brother. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Like I said, I appreciate your platform and inviting me. Like I said, I already know how I feel about her.
We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk again.
G right now, I love her.
Yeah, we're gonna talk again.
Yep.
Right. Okay, guys. I'm gonna drop you down, Ron. Okay, take care. We'll talk again soon. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Peace.
With that said, guys, we're out of this joint. All right. Take care until we see you in the next video.
Later.